It with an English accent. That's solid, dude. Okay, so we're going to start reading. If I don't talk to you in chat, don't be upset, okay? Just talk to each other. You're more than welcome to pal around and talk about the book. Or do the things that you would like to do. I don't care. Once she reads Green Eggs and Ham, I might have to wife it. LMAO. It's okay to be sad, Gimli, son of Glóin. Okay. We're going to commence. I love you all. And I'll talk to you in a minute. We'll pause here and there to catch up with chat. Unless we find that annoying, then we won't. Chapter 5. The Bridge of Khazad-dûm. The Company of the Ring stood silent beside the tomb of Balin. Frodo thought of Bilbo and his long friendship with the dwarf, and of Balin's visit to the Shire long ago. In that dusty chamber in the mountain, it seemed 1,000 years ago on the other side of the world. At length they stirred and looked up, and began to search for anything that would give them the tidings of Balin's fate, or show what had become of his folk. There was another smaller door on the other side of the chamber, under the shaft. By both the doors they could now see that many bones were lying, and among them were broken swords and axe heads, and cloven shields and helms. Some of the swords were crooked, orc schmittars with blackened blades. There were many recesses cut in the rock of the walls, and in them were iron-bound chests of wood. All had been broken and plundered, but beside the shattered lid of one of them lay the remains of a book. It had been slashed and stabbed and partly burned, and it was so stained with black and other dark marks like old blood that little of it could be read. Gandalf lifted it carefully, but the leaves crackled and broke as he laid it on the slab. He pored over it for some time without speaking. Frodo and Gimli, standing on his side, could see, as he gingerly turned the leaves, that they were written by many different hands in runes, both of Moria and of Dale, and here and there in Elvish script. At last Gandalf looked up. "Seems to be a record of the fortunes of Balin's folk," he said. "I guess that it began with their coming of Dimrildale nigh on 30 years ago. The pages seem to have been numbered referring to the years of their arrival. The top page is marked 1-3, so at least 2 are missing from the beginning. Listen to this. We drove the orcs out from the great gate and guard, I think. I guess I should just read this in Gandalf's voice. We drove out the orcs from the great gate and guard, I think. The next word is blurred and burned. Probably room. We slew many in the bright. I think sun in the dale. Floy was killed by an arrow. He slew the great. Then there's a blur, followed by Floy under grass near Mirrormere. The next line, too, I cannot read. Then comes, we have taken the 21st hall of North End to dwell in. There is, I cannot read what, a shaft is mentioned. Then Balin has set up his seat in the chamber of Mazarbul. The chamber of records, said Gimli. I guess that is where we now stand. Well, I can't read no more for a long way, said Gandalf. Except the word gold, and Durin's axe and something helm. Then Balin is now Lord of Moria. That seems to end the chapter. After some stars another hand begins, and I can see we found true silver, and later the word well forged, and then something. I have it, Mithril. And the last 2 lines, owing to seek for upper armories of third deep, something we go westwards a blur to Holland Gate. Gandalf paused and set a few leaves aside. There are several pages of the same sort, rather hastily written and much damaged, he said, but I can make out a little of them in this light.
It's the 11 months with the sheriff. Another 58 months till the mighty 69.
Colonel, thank you for 11 months. Sweet bean. Ben, hello, thank you. Where was I? Now there must be a number of leaves missing, because they begin to be numbered 5. The 5th year of the colony, I suppose. Let me see. No, they are too cut and stained. I cannot read them. We must do something better in the sunlight. We might do better in the sunlight. Wait, here is something. Large bold hand using an elvish script. That would be Ori's hand, said Gimli, looking over the wizard's arm. He could write well, and speedily, and often use the elvish characters. I fear he had ill tidings to record in a fair hand, said Gandalf. The first clear word is sorrow, but the rest of the line is lost, unless it ends in a stray. Yes, it must be yester followed by day. Beginning the 10th of November, Balin, Lord of Moria, fell in Dimril Dale. He went alone to look in the Mirrormere. An orc shot him from behind a stone. We slew the orc, but many more, up from the east side of Silver Lode. The remainder of the page is so blurred that I can hardly make anything out, but I think I can read, "We have barred the gates, and then we can hold them long if, and perhaps horrible, and suffer." Poor Balin, he seems to have kept the title that he took for less than 5 years. I wonder what happened afterwards, but there's no time to puzzle out the last few pages. Here's the last page of all. He paused and sighed. "It is a grim reading," he said. "I fear their end was cruel. Listen. We cannot get out. We cannot get out. They have taken the bridge in the second hall. Frere and Lonely and Nolly fell there. Then there are 4 lines smeared so that I can only read. Went 5 days ago. The last lines run, the pool is up the wall at Westgate. The watcher in the water took Oin. We cannot get out. The end comes, and then drums, drums, in the deep. Wonder what that means. Their last written thing was in the trailing scroll of elf letters. They are coming. There is nothing more." Gandalf paused and stood in silent thought. A sudden dread and a horror of the chamber fell on the company. "We cannot get out," muttered Gimli. "It was well for us the pool had sunk a little, and the watcher was sleeping down at the southern end." Gandalf raised his head and looked around. "They seem to have made last stand by both doors," he said, "but there were not many left by that time. So ended the attempt to retake Moria. It was valiant but foolish. The time is not yet. Now, I fear, we must say farewell to Balin, son of Fundin. Here he must lie in the halls of his fathers. We will take this book, the Book of the Mazarbul, and take a look at it closely later. You'd better keep it, Gimli, and take it back to Dane, if you get the chance. It will interest him, though it will grieve him deeply. Come, let us go. The morning is passing." "Which way shall we go?" asked Boromir. "Back to the hall," answered Gandalf. "But our visit to this room has not been in vain. I now know where we are. This must be, as Gimli says, the Chamber of Mazarbul, and the hall must be the 21st of the north end. Therefore, we should leave by the eastern arch of the hall and bear right, south, and go downwards. The 21st hall should be in the 7th level, that is 6 above the levels of the gates. Come now, back to the hall." Gandalf had hardly spoken these words when there came a great noise, a rolling boom that seemed to come from the depths far below, and to tremble in the stone at their feet. They sprang towards the door in alarm. Doom, doom, it rolled again, as if huge hands were turning the very caverns of Moria into a vast drum. Then there came an echoing blast. A great horn was blown in the hall, and answering horns and harsh cries were heard further off. There were hurrying sound of many feet. "They are coming," cried Legolas. "We cannot get out," said Gimli. "Trapped!" cried Gandalf. Why did I delay? Here we are, caught, just as they were before. I was not here then. We will see what—" Doom, doom, came the drum beat, and the walls shook. "Slam the doors and wedge them," shouted Aragorn. "And keep your packs as long as you can. We may get a chance to cut our way out yet." "No," said Gandalf. "We must not shut in. Keep the east door ajar. We will go that way if we get the chance." Another harsh horn call and shrill cries rang out. Feet were coming down the corridor. There was a ring and clatter, and the company drew their swords. Glamdring shone with a pale light, and Sting glinted at the edges. Boromir set his shoulder against the western door. "Wait a moment. Do not close it yet," said Gandalf. He sprang forward to Boromir's side and drew himself up to his full height. "Who comes hither to disturb the rest of Balin, Lord of Moria?" he cried in a loud voice. There was a rush of hoarse laughter, like a fall of sliding stones into a pit. Amid the clamor, a deep voice was raised in command. Doom, boom, doom, went the drums in the deep. With a quick movement, Gandalf stepped before the narrow opening of the door and thrust forward his staff. There was a dazzling flash that lit the chamber and passage outside. For an instant, the wizard looked out. Arrows whined and whistled down the corridor as he sprang back. "There are orcs, very many of them," he said. "Some are large and evil, black uruks of Mordor. For the moment they are hanging back, but there is something else there. A great cave troll, I think, or more than one. There is no hope of escape either way." "And no hope at all if they come the other door as well," said Boromir. "There is no sound out here yet," said Aragorn, who was standing by the eastern door listening. "The passage on the side plunges straight down a stair. It plainly does not lead back towards the hall. But it is no good flying blindly this way with the pursuit just behind. We cannot block the door. Its key gone and the lock is broken. It opens inwards. We must do something to delay the enemy first. We will make them fear the chamber of Mazarbul," he said grimly, feeling the edge of his sword, Anduril. Heavy feet were on the corridor. Boromir flung himself against the door and heaved to it. Then he wedged it with broken sword blades and splinters of wood. The company retreated to the other side of the chamber, but they had no chance to fly yet. There was a blow on the door that made it quiver, and it began to grind slowly open, driving back the wedges. A huge arm and shoulder, with a dark skin of greenish scales, was thrust through the widening gap. "Hi, Dark. How you doing?" Then a great flat toeless foot was forced through below. There was dead silence outside. Boromir leaped forward and hewed an arm with all his might, but his sword rang, glanced inside, and fell from his shaken hand. The blade was notched. Suddenly, and to his own surprise, Frodo felt a hot wrath blaze up his heart. "The Shire!" he cried, and springing beside Boromir, he stopped and stabbed with sting at the hideous foot. There was a bellow, and the foot jerked back, nearly retching sting from Frodo's arm. Black drops dripped from the blade and smoked on the floor. Boromir hurled himself against the door and slammed it again. "One for the Shire!" cried Aragorn. "The hobbits bite deep. You have a good blade, Frodo, son of Drogo." There was a crash on the door, followed by crash after crash. Rams and hammers were beating against it. It cracked and staggered back, and the opening grew suddenly wide. Arrows came whistling in, but struck the northern hall and fell harmlessly to the floor. There was a horn blast and a rush of feet, and orcs one after another leaped into the chamber. But many there were the company could not count. How many there were the company could not count. The affray was sharp, but the orcs were dismayed by the fierceness of the defense. Shot 2 through the throat. Whoa, I am reading very poorly today. I'm so sorry. Legolas shot 2 through the throat. Gimli hewed the legs from another that had sprung up on Balin's tomb. Boromir and Aragorn slew many. When 13 had fallen, the rest fled shrieking, leaving the defenders unharmed, except for Sam, who had a scratch along the scalp. A quick duck had saved him, but he had felled his orc, a sturdy thrust from his borrowed blade. A fire was smoldering in his brown eyes that would have made Ted Sandyman step backwards if he had seen it. It's killing me. I'm sorry, the Sandyman thing's killing me. "Now is the time," cried Gandalf. "Let us go before the troll returns." And even as they retreated, and before Pippin and Merry had reached the stair outside, a huge orc chieftain, almost man-high, clad in black mail from head to foot, leaped into the chamber. Behind him his followers clustered in the doorway. His broad, flat face was swart, his eyes were like coals, and his tongue was red. He wielded a great spear. With a thrust of his huge hide shield, he turned Boromir's sword and bore him backwards, throwing him to the ground. Diving under Aragorn's blow with the speed of a striking snake, he charged into the company and thrust with his spear straight at Frodo. The blow caught him on the right side, and Frodo was hurled against the wall and pinned. Sam, with a cry, hacked at the spear shaft and broke it. But even as the orc flung down the truncheon and swept out his scimitar? I don't remember how to say this. Scimitar? Anduril came down upon his helm. There was a flash like flame, and the helm burst asunder. The orc fell with cloven head. His followers fled, howling as Boromir and Aragorn sprang at them. Doom, doom, went the drums in the deep. The great voice rolled out again. Now, shouted Gandalf, now is the last chance. Run for it. Aragorn picked up Frodo where he lay by the wall and made for the stair, pushing Merry and Pippin in front of him. The others followed, but Gimli had to be dragged away by Legolas. In spite of the peril, he lingered by Balin's tomb with his head bowed. Boromir hauled the eastern door to grinding upon its hinges. It had great iron rings on either side, but could not be fastened. I am all right, gasped Frodo. I can walk. Put me down. Aragorn nearly dropped him in his amazement. I thought you were dead, he cried. Not yet, said Gandalf, but there is no time for wonder. Off you go, all of you, down the stairs. Wait a few minutes for me at the bottom, but if I do not come soon, go on, go quickly, and choose paths leading right and downwards. We cannot leave you to hold the door alone, said Aragorn. Do as I say, said Gandalf fiercely. Swords are no more use here. Go! The passage was lit by no shafts and was utterly dark. They groped their way down the long flight of steps and then looked back, but they could see nothing except high above them the faint glimmer of the wizard's staff. He seemed to still be standing on guard by the closed door. Frodo breathed heavily and leaned against Sam, who put his arms around him. They stood peering up the stairs into the darkness. Frodo thought he could hear the voice of Gandalf above, muttering words that ran down the sloping roof with a sighing echo. He could not catch what he said, but walls seemed to be trembling. Every now and then the drum beats throbbed and rolled. Doom, doom. Suddenly, at the top of the stair, there was a stab of white light. Then there was a dull rumble and heavy thud. The drum beats broke out wildly. Doom, doom, boom, doom. And then stopped. Gandalf came flying down the steps and fell to the ground in the midst of the company. Well, well, that's over, said the wizard, struggling to his feet. I have done all that I could, but I must have met my match, and have nearly been destroyed. But don't stand here. Go on. You'll have to do without light for a while. I'm rather shaken. Go on, go on. Where are you, Gimli? Come ahead with me. Keep close behind, all of you. They stumbled after him, wondering what had happened. Doom, doom, went the drum beats again. They now sounded muffled and far away, but they were following. There was another sound of pursuit, neither tramp of feet nor any voice. Gandalf took no turns, right or left, for the passage seemed to be going in the direction that he desired. Every now and again it descended a flight of steps, 50 or more, to a lower level. At the moment that there is chief danger, for in the dark they could not see a descent, until they came on it and put their feet out into the emptiness. Gandalf felt the ground with his staff like a blind man. At the end of an hour, they had gone a mile, or maybe a little more, and had descended many flights of stairs. Dude, they've been doing this for a fucking hour. That's crazy. Oh, I lost my spot. I'm so sorry. At the end of the hour, they had gone a mile, or maybe a little more, and they had descended many flights of stairs. There was still no sound of pursuit. Almost they began to hope that they would escape. At the bottom of the 7th flight, Gandalf halted. It is getting hot, he gasped. We ought to be down at least to the level of the gates now. Soon I think we should look for a left-hand turn to take us east. I hope it is not far. I am very weary. I must rest here a moment, even if all the orcs ever spawned are after us. Gimli took his arm and helped him down to take a seat on the step. What happened away there at the door? He asked. Did you meet the beater of the drums? I do not know, answered Gandalf, but I found myself suddenly faced by something that I have not met before. I could think of nothing to do but to try and put on a shutting spell on the door. I know many, but to do things of that kind rightly requires time, and even then the door can be broken by strength. As I stood there, I could hear orc voices on the other side. At any moment I thought they would burst it open. I could not hear what was said. They seemed to be talking in their own hideous language. All I caught was gosh, that is fire. Then something came into the chamber. I felt it through the door, and the orcs themselves were afraid and fell silent. It laid hold of the iron ring, and perceived me and my spell. What it was I cannot guess, but I have never felt such a challenge. The counterspell was terrible. It nearly broke me. For an instant the door left my control and began to open. I had to speak a word of command. That proved too great a strain. The doors burst in pieces. Something dark as cloud was blocking out all the light inside, and I was thrown backwards down the stairs. All the wall gave way, and the roof of the chamber as well, I think. I'm afraid Balin is buried deep, and maybe something else is buried there too. I cannot say, but at least the passage behind us was completely blocked. Ah, I've never felt so spent, but it is passing. And now what about you, Frodo? There was not a time to say so, but I have never been more delighted in my life than when you spoke. I feared it was a brave but dead hobbit that Aragorn was carrying. What about me? Said Frodo. I am alive and whole, I think. I am bruised and in pain, but it's not too bad. Well, said Aragorn, I can only say that hobbits are made of stuff so tough that I never met the like of it. Had I known, I would have spoken softer in the Inn of Bree. That spear thrust would have skewered a wild boar. Well, it did not skewer me, I am glad to say, said Frodo, though I feel as if I had been caught between a hammer and an anvil. He said no more. He found breathing painful. You take after Bilbo, said Gandalf. There's more about you than meets the eye, as I said of him long ago. Frodo wondered if the remark meant more than it said. They now went on again. Before long, Gimli spoke. He had keen eyes in the dark. I think, he said, that there is a light ahead, but it is not daylight. It is red. What can it be? Gosh, muttered Gandalf. Wonder if that is what they meant, that the lower levels are on fire. Still, we can only go on. Soon the light became unmistakable, and could be seen by all. It was flickering and glowing on the walls way down the passage before them. They could now see their way. In front the road sloped down swiftly, and some way ahead there stood a low archway. Through it the growing light came. The air became very hot. When they came to the arch, Gandalf went through, signing them to them to wait. As he stood just beyond the opening, they saw his face lit by a red glow. Quickly, he stepped back. There is some new devilry here, he said. Devised for our welcome, no doubt. But I know now where we are. We have reached the first deep, the level immediately below the gates. This is the second hall of Old Moria, and the gates are near, away beyond the eastern end on the left, not more than a quarter of a mile, across the bridge, up a broad stair along a wide road, through the first hall and out. But come and look. They peered out. Before them was another cavernous hall. It was loftier and far longer than the one in which they had slept. They were near its eastern end. Westward it ran away into darkness. Down the center stalked a double line of towering pillars. They were carved like boles of mighty trees, whose boughs upheld the roof with a branching tracery of stone. Their stems were smooth and black, but a red glow was darkly mirrored in their sides. Right across the floor, close to the feet of the two huge pillars, a great fissure had opened. Out of it a fierce red light came, and now again the flames licked at the brink of the curls of the bases of the columns. Wisps of dark smoke wavered in the hot air. If we had come by the main road from the upper halls, we should have been trapped here, said Gandalf. Let us hope that the fire now lies between us and pursuit. Come, there is no time to lose. Even as he spoke, they heard again the pursuing drumbeat. Doom, doom, doom. Away beyond the shadows at the western end of the hall, there came cries and horn calls. Doom, doom. The pillars seemed to tremble, and the flames to quiver. Now for the last race, said Gandalf. If the sun is shining outside, we may still escape. After me. He turned left and sped across the smooth floor of the hall. The distance was greater than it had looked. As they ran, they heard the beaten echo of many hurrying feet behind. A shrill yell went up. They had been seen. There was a ring and clash of steel. An arrow whistled over Frodo's head. Boromir laughed. They did not expect this, he said. The fire has cut them off. We are on the wrong side. Look ahead, said Gandalf. The bridge is near. It is dangerous and narrow. Suddenly Frodo saw before him a black chasm. At the end of the hall, the floor vanished and fell into unknown depth. The outer door could only be reached by a slender bridge of stone, without curb or rail, that spanned the chasm with one curving spring of 50 feet. It was an ancient defense of the dwarves against any enemy that might capture the first hall and the outer passages. They could only pass across it in single file. At the brink, Gandalf halted, and the others came in the pack behind. "Lead the way, Gimli," he said. "Pippin and Merry next, straight on and up the stair beyond the door." Arrows fell among them. One struck Frodo and sprang back. Another pierced Gandalf's hat and stuck there like a black feather. Frodo looked behind. Beyond the fire, he saw swarming black figures. There seemed to be hundreds of orcs. They brandished spears and scimitars and shone red as blood in the firelight. Doom, doom, rolled the drumbeats, growing louder and louder. Doom, doom. I feel the need to turn on the Khazad-dûm soundtrack for this part. I'm sure you'll understand.
They will never stop hunting you.
What the fuck was that? Oh, it was Doctor, thanks. Oh! My book is falling apart. We need more than 5 minutes. Bridge of Khazad-dûm 1 hour? Hell yeah. This is about to get crazy, dude. Okay. Things are popping off, my guy. This is so awesome. I want to see the reading on stream was allowed, and you're just doing it. I don't know. It seems like it's fine. What's up, Undead? No one's gotten mad at me yet. Hello, all the newcomers today. I hope you're doing good. I haven't been reading chat because I'm reading, but you're welcome to stick around and get cozy and do whatever. Live your dream. What's up, Undead? Thank you for following, Undead. We're getting to the crazy part in Khazad-dûm. It's awesome. I'm really hyped right now. I don't think you can get in trouble for reading a book. I don't think. I don't know. Can we read 7,500 read in Dumb Blonde? I suppose that's allowed. The original title of the chapter, the crazy part in Khazad-dûm. It's true. Scorch, good morning. Hope you're having a good day. Can you guys hear me reading all right, by the way? Won't get in trouble. Person I wanted before, that was her whole shtick. Oh my god, we have to read in the Dumb Blonde voice. I'm so sorry, you guys. It only lasts like 2 minutes, though. Hear you great? Okay. One strike photos from back. Doom, doom. Rolled the drum beats, growing louder and louder. Doom, doom. Oh, I'm supposed to be reading a Dumb Blonde voice. Legolas turned and set an arrow to the string, though it was a long shot for his small bow. He drew, but his hand fell, and the arrow slipped to the ground. He gave a cry of dismay and fear. Ah! 2 great trolls appeared. They bore great slabs of stone, and flung them down to serve as gangways over the fire. But it was not the trolls that had filled the elf with terror. The ranks of the orcs had opened, and they crowded away as if they themselves were afraid. Something was coming up behind them. What it was could not be seen. It was like a great shadow, in the middle of which was a dark form, of man-shape maybe, yet greater, and a power of terror that seemed to be in it and to go before it. It came to the edge of the fire, and the light faded as if cloud had bent over it. Then with a rush, it leaped across with the fissure. The flames soared up to greet it and wreathed about it, and black smoke swirled in the air. Its streaming mane kindled and blazed behind it. In its right hand was a blade like a stabbing tongue of fire. In its left hand, a whip of many thongs. Aye, wailed Legolas. A Balrog has come. Gimli stared with wide eyes. Durin's bane, he cried, and letting his axe fall, he covered his face. A Balrog, muttered Gandalf. Now I understand. He faltered and leaned heavily on his staff. What an evil fortune, and I am already weary. I like that this is the introduction of the Balrog. It's like one of the most important parts of this whole book, and the guys redeemed dumb blonde voice during it. The dark figures, streaming with fire, raced towards them. The orcs yelled and poured over the stone gangways. Then Boromir raised his horn and blew. Loud the challenge rang and bellowed, like the shout of many throats under the cavernous roof.
Sonic the Hedgehog has that 90s extreme cartoon animal mentality that leads me to believe he's not a partner sexual dalliance but rather an adversary.
What?
If you're reading this, I'm already dead.
What the fuck? Sonic the Hedgehog is a nice... He's not a partner sexual dalliance but rather an adversary. If you read this, I'm already dead. Bombjack, hi, I've missed you. Thank you. Oh my god. I couldn't even see what it was. The Sonic thing truly distracted me. Thank you for the $69.69. You're so sweet. I hope you're not actually dead. I love you. Fuck. Hope you're having a good day, Bombjack. Thank you so much.
My slimes.
Sup, my dude.
What's up, Real? Thank you for 37 months.
My slimes.
Dag, thank you for gifting us up to Tall McCartney. Tall, what's up, girl? Like, fly, you fools, or whatever. Spell is Charlie Bond. Oh, y'all. Bombjack, thank you so much. You're so sweet. You're probably already dead. Okay. We're at, like, the press. My hand looks gigantic because of this angle that I'm sitting at. I am extra sassy. Thanks so much, fam. So cute. Thank you guys for everything. You're so sweet. There's zero chance of you passing, bro. Okay. F in the chat for Bombjack. F in the chat for Bombjack in case he's, like, actually dead. I hope he's not. No passing. Oh my god. Are you gonna call the cops on you? The hand of God.
Let me smash.
Sauron, thank you for following. It's called Force Perspective. Okay, let's get through this bit where I still have to be doing the dumb blonde voice. Give me a moment. Where was I? The dark figures, streaming with fire, raced towards them. The orcs yelled and poured over the stone gangways. Then Boromir raised his horn and blew. The sound challenge rang and bellowed, like the shout of many throats under the cavernous roof. For a moment, the orcs quailed, and the fiery shadow halted. Then the echoes died as suddenly as a flame blown out by a dark wind, and the enemy advanced again. Over the bridge, cried Gandalf, recalling his strength. Fly! This is a foe beyond any of you. I must hold the narrow way. Fly! Aragorn and Boromir did not heed the command, but still held to their ground, side by side, behind Gandalf at the far end of the bridge. The others halted just within the doorway at the hall's end and turned, unable to leave their leader to face the enemy alone. The Balrog reached the bridge. Gandalf stood in the middle of the span, leaning on the staff in his left hand. But in his other hand, Glamdring gleamed, cold and white. His enemy halted again, facing him, and the shadow about it reached like two vast wings. It raised the whip, and the thongs whined and cracked. Fire came from its nostrils, but Gandalf stood firm. "You cannot pass," he said. The orc stood still, and a dead silence fell. "I am servant of the secret fire, wielder of the flame of Anor. You cannot pass. The dark fire will not avail you, flame of Udun. You go back to the shadow. You cannot pass." The Balrog made no answer. The fire in it seemed to die, but the darkness, grew. It stepped forward slowly onto the bridge, and suddenly it drew itself up to a great height, and its wings were spread from wall to wall. But still, Gandalf could be seen, glimmering in the gloom. He seemed small and altogether alone, gray and bent, like a wizened tree before the onset of a storm. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I can't keep doing that forever. That's gonna hurt my voice. This is bonkers. Anonymous, thank you for giving a sub to Lord of the Ass. I like that. I like that a lot. I can't breathe. I need oxygen. I just spit out my coffee library. I hope someone has clipped that at some point here. I don't know if it's better or worse that I'm reading in that voice, honestly. Girl, I can't even. I thought you shall not pass was in the book. It's originally a blooper in the movie. It's technically cannot pass. Spring break at Mordor. Anyone else offended? I'm so offended. Gandalf isn't the only one standing firm right now. You can't pass, finger snap. You can't pass. Yeah, Gandalf would do a fucking beard flip, dude. You're such a skis, cried Gandalf. Oh my god, yes. Hi, train, choo-choo. That glimmering in the gloom was precious. You guys are getting me trapped in that voice. I can't fucking handle it.
My slimes.
Fellowship of the Gay. Thank you for giving us up to Fellowship of the Gay. All my gay homies. Thank you, Anonymous. Every word or sentence read as a question. You slayed it. Thank you, Roy. I did my best. It was pretty great. I pray you guys were clipping that. Pray you were clipping it. Legolas with the Tumblon voice sent me. Ring right, yeah. Gandalf's going to call Bog a creep and defeat him. I want a whole stream in that voice. I want to take a screenshot again of saying, "You cannot pass," and put it in the urologist's office for kidney stones treatment. It's too long to clip. Well, maybe I can pull it from the VOD for you guys. If you're happy to know it. Hey! Gandalf, daddy, chill. Gandalf, chill. You guys want me to finish this chapter in that voice? It's just 2 more pages. I can finish this chapter in that voice, or I can read it normally. It is kind of like the fucking peak of the book, so I don't know why you guys wanted this, but I'll listen to my homies. Dude, my thighs are thick as shit right now. What the fuck? Okay, it's just 2 more pages, so we'll hit it. And then after that, I have to stop. It's like killing my voice. So I can't believe the films are 20 years old. That's fucking crazy. It's crazy, man. Gank. Good work. From out of the shadow, a red sword leaped flaming. Glamdring glittered white in answer. There was a ringing clash and a stab of white fire. The Balrog fell back and its sword flew up in molten fragments. The sword swayed on the bridge, stepped back a pace, and then... Oh, wait, excuse me. The wizard swayed on the bridge, stepped back a pace, and then again stood still. "You cannot pass," he said. With a bound, the Balrog leaped full upon the bridge. Its whip whirled and hissed. "He cannot stand alone," cried Aragorn suddenly and ran back along the bridge. "Elendil," he shouted, "I am with you, Gandalf." "Gondor!" cried Boromir and leapt after him. At the moment, Gandalf lifted his staff, and crying aloud, he smote the bridge before him. The staff broke asunder and fell from his hand. A blinding sheet of white flame sprang up. The bridge cracked. Right at the Balrog's feet it broke, and the stone upon which it stood crashed into the gulf, while the rest remained poised, quivering like a tongue of rock thrust into the emptiness. With a terrible cry, the Balrog fell forward, and its shadow plunged down and vanished. But even as it fell, it swung its whip, and the thongs leashed and curled about the wizard's knees, dragging him to the brink. He staggered and fell, grasped vainly at the stone, and slid into the abyss. "Fly, you fools!" he cried, and was gone. The fires went out, and blank darkness fell. The company stood rooted with horror, staring into the pit. Even as Aragorn and Boromir came flying back, the rest of the bridge cracked and fell. With a cry, Aragorn roused them. "Come, I will lead you now," he called. "We must obey his last command. Follow me." Shifty, thank you for giving us this. You shall not piss. "Come, I will lead you now. We must obey his last command. Follow me." They stumbled wildly up the stairs beyond the door. Aragorn leading, Boromir at the rear. Oh yeah, at the rear. At the top was a wide, echoing passage. Along this they fled. Frodo heard Sam at his side weeping, and then he found that he himself was weeping as he ran. Doom, 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 the drum beats rolled behind, mournful now and slow. Doom. They ran on. The light grew before them. Great shafts pierced the roof. They ran swifter. They passed into a hall, bright with like daylight, its high windows in the east. They fled across it. Through its huge broken doors they passed, and suddenly before them the great gates opened, an arc of blazing light. There was a guard of orcs crouching in the shadows behind the great doors, posts towering on either side, but the gates were shattered and cast down. Aragorn smote to the ground the captain that stood in his path, and the rest fled in terror of his wrath. The company swept past them and took no heed of them. Out of the gates they ran and sprang down the huge, age-worn steps, the threshold of Moria. Thus, at last, they came beyond hope under the sky and felt the wind on their faces. They did not halt until they were out of the bowshot from the walls. Grimmauld Dale lay about them. The shadow of the misty mountains lay upon it. Anonymous, thank you for getting a sub to Poop on My Chest, Daddy. Oh my god. Thank you so much. Good one, son. Fuck. Thus, at last, they came beyond hope under the sky and felt the wind on their faces. They did not halt until they were out of bowshot from the walls. Grimmauld Dale lay about them. The shadow of the misty mountains lay upon it, but eastward there was a golden light on the land. It was but 1 hour after noon. The sun was shining, the clouds were white and high. They looked back. Dark yawned the archways of the gates under the mountain shadow. Faint and far beneath the earth rolled the slow drum beats, doom, doom, doom. A thin black smoke trailed out. Nothing else was to be seen. The dale all around was empty. Doom. Grief at last wholly overcame them, and they wept long, some standing in silence, some cast upon the ground. Doom, doom. The drum beats faded. You guys happy? Are you happy now? The last 2 pages of every chapter. Every time the story gets good, we should fuck it up. Very happy. Well done. That was epic. I'm glad you guys are pleased. I don't have a clap button, so I'm just gonna clap for myself. Now my throat's like all fucked up. It's really hard for me to do that for like a long time. Oh my god. It like hurts the sides of my throat.
My slime.
I got another 7,500. Oh my god, no. I don't think I can do it again. Anonymous, thank you for gifting a sub to Bussy Inspector. Are you coming for me? You trying to inspect my bussy? You just need to give us a 2-page warning. You're being taken over by the character. Hand movements, head bobbing. Yeah, if I get too involved, there's a switch. I'm sorry, I can't get over Bussy Inspector. Our Sheriff Banana is our precious. Damn. That was brutal. Head's going to... Dude, I didn't even know I was moving my head. I knew I was moving my hands. Love the voice in this setting, but overall hate it. But you like it right now. Interesting. Oh, fuck. We're on Lórien, okay? Which is also pretty bussin'. There's only like 70 pages left. Do you think we could read 70 pages in like 2 hours? 30 pages an hour? How many did I just read? I think I only read like 10 pages just now. Yeah, that was only like 13 pages. Our precious ring that controls us all. Get stuck with that voice, you have to go to work and talk to clients. With that voice, that would be a fucking nightmare. Read super fast. Just wondering how the world does Mammy Sheriff keep her legs so fit. I don't. They're fucking like chonking right now, dude. I'm fucking jiggly. All my weight goes to my thighs. Like, if I gain weight, it doesn't go to my, like, tummy or anything. It just goes straight to the thigh. Which I guess isn't a bad thing, but, like, whatever. I prefer them a little thinner than this. For aerodynamic purposes. Not just chatting. Jigglypuff on there. I'm a puffy baby. Okay. We'll read... How long is Lórien chapter? Lórien's only like 20 pages. We'll read Lórien, I'll take a break, and then we'll see if we can fucking pound through the rest of this. How much to get you to read the book in choppy mode using only emoji to tell the tale? That would be so difficult. I don't think I could do it. Have we seen Chobby today? Dude, if Chobby stops showing up, that's really gonna suck, because I'm not gonna know if he's, like, alive or dead. Like, one does not simply breeze through Lórien. You got a point there, Guttermilk. Chobby, are you dead? Is Chobby here? Oh my god, I don't think Chobby's here. Love those leg things. These thingies? It's a garter. They're fucking lit. They hold my sockies up. I'm wearing shorts, by the way. For all the coomers out there. Chob Zombie. Chob is not here, unfortunately. Dude, this is like the one stream that's like meant for him. No need to chat. You just listen. Someone add him in the Discord and make sure he's alive, please. Someone hit up our bro. Chob Zombie. Oh, maybe he's barbecuing. I bet he barbecues. I bet he's a barbecue guy. If I was a woman, I'd steal your style. Dude, just do it anyway. Fuck it. Unless it's an Elvish breeze. That's what it sounds like, Elvish breezes. Chob Zombie. He posted something in Discord yesterday. So he's not dead. Adam, hi! True test is VC and wait for him to post and not safe for work. Who's gonna sacrifice that? Okay, so I think as well, since we're out of Khazad-dûm, well, I guess we'll just leave the soundtrack on, whatever. Everyone thinks I'm gay already. If I show up as you, no one will believe me. No, dude, you're just really comfortable being straight. This is the thing that, like, people don't understand, is, like, huge flex if you're straight as fuck and you dress femme as balls. Like, because it's just a huge flex. It's like, you can't even, like, I don't know. It's like, I'm so comfortable with my sexuality, I don't even care if people think I'm gay. That's good. It's fresh. Frankenfurter. Gotta run again soon, but you have me as long as it takes to set up the next train. Okay, I'm gonna start reading Lórien. Chapter 6, Lórien. Oh, this is good music for this, actually. Perfect. Alas, I fear we cannot stay. Oh, dude, it's gonna take me a second to readjust the voices, because that voice really screwed me up. Alas, I fear we cannot stay here longer, said Aragorn. He looked towards the mountains and held up his sword. Farewell, Gandalf, he cried. Should I not say to you, if you pass the doors of Moria, beware? Alas, that I spoke true. What hope have we without you? He turned to the company. We must do without hope, he said. At least we may yet be avenged. Let us gird ourselves and weep no more. Come, we have a long road and much to do. They rose and looked about them. Northward the dale ran up into the glen of shadows between two great arms of the mountains, above which the three white peaks were shining. Celebdil, Fenudhul, I can't ever say these. Celebdil, Fenudhul, Caritas, the mountains of Moria. At the head of the glen, a torrent flowed like a white lace over the endless ladder of short falls, and a mist of foam hung in the air about the mountain's feet. Yonder is the Dimrill Stair, said Aragorn, pointing to the falls. Down the deep cloven way that climbs beside the torrent we should have come, if fortune had been kinder. Orkard is less cruel, said Gimli. There he stands smiling in the sun. He shook his fist at the furthest of the snow-capped peaks and turned away. To the east, the outflung arms of the mountains marched to a sudden end, and far lands could be descried beyond them, wide and vague. To the south, the misty mountain receded endlessly as far as sight could reach. Less than a mile away, and a little below them, for they stood high up on the west side of the dale, there lay a Mur. It was long and oval, shaped like a great spearhead thrust deep into the northern glen, but its southern end was beyond the shadows under the sunlit sky. Yet its waters were dark, a deep blue like clear evening sky, seen from a lamp-lit room. Its face was still and unruffled, but about it lay a smooth sward, shelving down on all sides to its bare, unbroken rim. What's up, Phoenix? There lies the Mirrormere. Deep Khazad-dûm, said Gimli sadly. I remember that he said, May you have joy of the sight, but we cannot linger there. Now long shall I journey ere I have joy again. It is that I must hasten anyway, and he must remain. The company now went down to the road from the gates. It was rough and broken, fading to a winding track beneath heather and wine that thrust amid the cracking stones. But still it could be seen that once long ago a great paved way had wound upwards from the lowlands of the dwarf kingdom. In places there were ruined works of stone beside the path, and mounds of green topped with slender birches, or fir trees sighing in the wind. An eastward bend led them hard beyond... My book is falling apart. An eastward bend led them hard by the sward of Mirrormere. And they're not... I'm derailing myself. And they're not far from the roadside stood a single column broken at the top. That is Durin's stone, cried Gimli. I cannot pass without turning aside for a moment to look at the wonder of the dale. Be swift, then, said Aragorn, looking back towards the gates. The sun sinks early. The orcs will not. Maybe come out till after dusk, but we must be far away before nightfall. The moon is almost spent, and it will be dark tonight. Come with me, Frodo, cried the dwarf, springing from the road. I would not have you go without seeing Khazad-dûm. He ran down the long green slope. Frodo followed slowly, drawn by the still blue water in spite of hurt and weariness. Sam came up behind. Beside the standing stone, Gimli halted and looked up. It was cracked and weather-worn, and the faint runes upon its side could not be read. This pillar marks the spot where Durin's first looked into the Mirrormere, said the dwarf. Let us look ourselves ere we go. They stooped over the dark water. At first, I'm changing the music. It's like too loud. but only too loud sometimes? Sorry. Doing Gondor ambience. They stooped over the dark water. At first they could see nothing. Then slowly they saw the forms of encircling mountains mirrored in a profound blue, and the peaks were like plumes of white flame above them. Beyond there was a space of sky. There, like jewels sunk in the deep, shone glinting stars, though sunlight was in the sky above. Of their own stooping forms no shadow could be seen. "O Kelixarm fair and wonderful," said Gimli. "There lies the crown of Durin till he wakes. Farewell." He bowed and turned away, and hastened back up the greensward to the road again. "What did you see?" said Pippin to Sam, but Sam was too deep in thought to answer. The road now turned south and went quickly downwards, running out from between the arms of Dale. Some way below the mirror they came on a deep well of water, clear as crystal, from which a freshet fell over a stone lip and ran glistening and gurgling down the steep rocky channel. "Here's the spring from which the silver lode rises," said Gimli. "Do not drink of it, it is icy cold." "Soon it becomes a swift river, and it gathers water from many other mountain streams," said Aragorn. "Our road leads beside it for many miles, for I shall take you by the road of Gandalf chose, and first I hope to come from the woods where Silver Lode flows to the great river. Out yonder." They looked as he pointed, and before them they could see the stream leaping down to the trough leaping down to the trough of the valley, then running on away in I'm stumbling really bad, I'm so sorry. Then running on and away into the lower lands until it was lost in a golden haze. "There lie the woods of Lórien," said Legolas. "That is the fairest of all dwellings of my people. There are no trees like the trees of that land. For in the autumn their leaves fall not, but turn to gold. Not till the spring comes and the new green opens do they fall, and then the boughs are laden with yellow flowers. And the floor of the wood is golden. And golden is the roof, and its pillars are of silver, for the bark of the trees is smooth and gray. So still our songs in Mirk would say, my heart would be glad if I were beneath the leaves of the wood, if it were springtime. And it were springtime." "My heart would be glad even in the winter," said Aragorn, "but it lies many miles away. Let us hasten." For some time Frodo and Sam managed to keep up with the others, but Aragorn was leading them at great pace, and after a while they lagged behind. They had eaten nothing since the early morning. Sam's cut was burning like fire, and his head felt tight. In spite of the shining sun, the wind seemed chill after the warm darkness of Moria. He shivered. Frodo felt every step more painful as he grasped for breath. At last Legolas turned, and seeing them now far behind, he spoke to Aragorn. The others halted, and Aragorn ran back, calling to Boromir to come with him. "I am sorry, Frodo," he cried, full of concern. "So much has happened this day that we need of such haste that I had forgotten that you were hurt, and Sam too. You should have spoken. We have done nothing to ease you as we ought, though all the orcs of Moria were after us. Come now, a little further on in this place, and we can rest for a little. There I will do what I can for you. Come, Boromir, we will carry them." Soon afterwards they came upon the stream that ran down from the west, and joined its bubbling water with the hurrying Silver Lode. Together they plunged over a fall of green-hued stone, and foamed down into a dell. About it stood fir trees, short and bent, and its sides were steep and clothed with hart's tongue and shrubs of whortleberry. At the bottom there was a level space through which the stream flowed noisily over shining pebbles. Here they rested. It was now nearly 3 hours after noon, and they had come only a few miles from the gates. Already the sun was westering. While Gimli and the 2 younger hobbits kindled a fire of brush and firwood and drew water, Aragorn tended Sam and Frodo. Sam's wound was not deep, but it looked ugly, and Aragorn's face was grave as he examined it. After a moment he looked up with relief. "Good luck, Sam," he said. "Many have received worse than this in payment for slaying one of their first orc. The cut is not poisoned, as the wounds of the orc's blades too often are. It should heal well when I have tended it. Bathe it when Gimli has heated water. He opened his pouch and drew out some withered leaves. They are dry, and some of their virtue is gone, he said, but here I have still some of the leaves of Thalis, that I gathered near Weathertop. Crush one in your water, and wash the wound clean, and I will bind it. Now it is your turn, Frodo. I am all right, said Frodo, reluctant to have his garments touched. All I needed was some food and a little rest. No, said Aragorn. We must have a look and see what hammer and anvil have done to you. I still marvel that you are alive at all. Gently he stripped off Frodo's old jacket and worn tunic, and gave a gasp of wonder. Then he laughed. The silver corselet shimmered before his eyes, like the light glimmering upon a rippling sea. Carefully he took it off and held it up, and the gems on it glittered like stars, and the sound of shaken rings was like a tinkle of rain in a pool. Look, my friends, he called. Here's a pretty hobbit skin to wrap up elven princeling in. If I were known that hobbits had such hides, all the hunters of Middle-earth would be riding to the Shire. And all the arrows of all the hunters in the world would be in vain, said Gimli, gazing at the mail in wonder. It's a mithril coat, mithril. I've not seen or heard it tell of one so fair. Is this the coat that Gandalf spoke of? Then he undervalued it. But it was well given. I have often wondered what you and Bilbo were doing so close in this little room, said Merry. Bless the old hobbit, love him more than ever. I hope we get a chance of telling him about it. There was a dark and blackened bruise on Frodo's right side and breast. Under the mail there was a shirt of soft leather, but at one point the rings had been driven through it into his flesh. Frodo's left side was also scored and bruised where they had been hurled against the wall. While the others set the food ready, Aragorn bathed the hurts with water in which Thalis was steeped. The pungent fragrance filled the dell, and all those who stooped over the steaming water felt refreshed and strengthened. Soon Frodo felt the pain leave him, and his breath grew easy, though he was stiff and sore to the touch for many days. Aragorn bound some soft pads of cloth at his side. The mail is marvelously light, he said. Put it on again, if you can bear it. My heart is glad to know that you have such a coat. Do not lay it aside, even in sleep, unless fortune brings you where you are safe for a while, and that will seldom chance while your quest lasts. Yeah, more than the Shire, right? When they had eaten, the company got ready to go on. They put out the fire and hid all traces of it. Then, climbing out of the dell, they took to the road again. They had not gone far before the sun sank into the western... Ah! Oh my god! What? Dag, thank you! You guys, there's a giveaway happening. 2 Fucklord Dad hats. Oh my god, what color? What a stud. Winner can pick the color they want. Ah, that's so cute. Everybody be sure to put !enter. Do all caps just in case. Directly follow what the thing says. !caps enter, please. I don't want you guys to not actually get entered. I think it has to be exact. I'm not positive, though. Shifty, do it again. You guys, that's so cute! Oh my god, this was so cute. Got my Fucklord sticker in. It's really dope. I don't know what to put it on. Nothing seems worthy. Yeah, I wouldn't know what to put it on either. It's a tough one. It is a toughie. I got a sticker recently and I didn't know what to put it on, actually. It also depends, like, the kind, like, what do you put? Some people put people put stickers on different things, you know? Like, I used to put stickers on my laptops, but now I don't do that. Because my laptop's bumpy. If I win, I'll wear a hat to my next PTA meeting and take pics. Guitar case, obviously. That's, like, actually the saddest thing ever. My old bass case was covered in stickers. Like, all the stickers that I really liked. And it got stolen. So, all those cool stickers are gone. And I'm really sad about it. Yeah. Wear the hat to church. The front runner is currently my Mac Mini. Ooh. Ooh. Fucklord Edition Mac Mini. 2 Fucklord Dad hats. You guys, there's currently a giveaway happening. I don't know if you still have a chance to enter, but you might. If you're in the chat, you can enter a giveaway for Fucklord hats. There's 2 of them. Compliments of Dag being a sweet bean. So cute. I don't know if there's still a chance to enter or not. 180 seconds is only like 3 minutes, isn't it? What a fucking sweet bean Dag is. I agree. Enter now for a chance to win. Anyone can enter. Shipping is also paid for? Dag, that's so cute. Oh, shit! Squanch and Sour have won the Fucklord Dad hats. I don't have a clap track. Congratulations, Squanch and Sour. You have been awarded the Fucklordism. You may choose your color, and shipping is already paid for. Compliments of Dag. Be sure to thank Dag if you won, you guys. That's so sweet. Also, I never win shit. GG, y'all. Congrats on the wins. Don't forget to click on the link and claim it. Yes, be sure to redeem your thing. You won, Squanch. Click the link that's above in chat that says that you won. You have an @ I believe. And you can redeem it. Don't forget to pick a color. Pick a color of hat, and away you go. Thank you so much, Dag. You guys are so cute. I can't believe it. It's so sweet. I love the giveaway thing. I think it's so cute. Thanks for doing the giveaway, Dag. Oh my god, it's so adorable. I can't live if living is without you. I can't leave. I can't leave anymore. Definitely doing black on black. Is there black on black for the hats? Did I do that? I can't remember. Please post pics in Discord of you wearing your hats, fellas. Yes, that would be great. I would love to see them. You're welcome. Sheriff needed a quick break. Yes. I'm a classic winter, so that pink Fucklord hat would have really made my summer outfit. Pink Fucklord hat is pretty dope. I think the blue one's really cute, too. I just wanted to have some, like, cute pastel options for that. Because it's, like, a dad hat, and I know, like, sometimes people like the pastel dad hats, so. I'm still trying to get the don't look at... Oh my god, that was horrible. Good job! Get it, Sour. Still trying to figure out, the Don't Look at Me hoodies, because the color's just a little off, and I don't know what to do. I need to get a hold of them. But we'll have the Don't Look at Me line start dropping stuff here soon. And I'll get some... I'm gonna do a merch order when I can afford it, too. Missed hearing from you. What do you mean, Kenny? I'm right here. I'm right here! Oh, I think merch, exclamation point merch should also just be merch, the normal merch now. I think I changed everything, I'm not positive, though. See you stream in a while, so me was sad. Oh, I kind of missed a few days last week, kind of. I was, like, getting off early and stuff. That gift to chat option is tits. I think it's so fucking cool. It's so fucking cool. And, like, I can run giveaways and shit, too. Which is rad. Black on black for the hat is an option. I couldn't remember. I've made so many different merch options and, like, nuked them that it's, like, gotten confusing. You should use it, Sheriff. It's funny, they emailed me and they're like, would you consider working with us? I'm like, I already am. Where can we message our fave, Overlord Banana, if she disappears and we must beckon for her love, beautiful presence? I stream every week no matter what, usually. And if I'm not streaming, that means that I'm sick. But Discord is, like... where I'm at. But, like, messaging me, I don't really respond to messages, so... I think that just the normal Discord, like, general chat is probably the best way, honestly. People don't claim their prizes and giveaways. You can redo them? Really? Thank you, Dag. So cute! Did you guys redeem your stuff? Yeah, stay away from my germs. They're mine. You read Discord sometimes. Should get here next week. I'm gonna have to make my hair look good when I model it. Hell yeah, dude. We're gonna get some fresh hair. Which King T with that has a murdered out black fuck lord hat? Dude, that's hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I can't wait to model my own merch. It's gonna be so fun. Best way off stream to talk sheriff's catcher and VC. It's true. I VC a lot more often now too. But like, if you want to talk to me, it's usually VC because it's like that doesn't really require me to do more because I can just like be in VC while working and stuff or like doing chores. When I find out what folklore is, I'm gonna love it. You guys are so cute. Hell yeah! VC is like always unhinged. Sheriff's being lazy. Shocking. I wish. VC is Professor Banana's office hours. It's true. Come into my office. So excited. Choose a color, did you? What color did you get, guys? What do what in your office? Homework review. Pink? Oh my god. Gotta go pink or black. Nobody likes the blue? I thought the blue was cute. Fuck. I have a scab on my head. I look amazing in pink. I like the blue. You know what? I bet you do look good in pink, Arthur. Now that I think about it. Wonder why my gift redeem didn't get a stream notif. Oh, it did. It did. I just don't think you heard it, probably. I saw it, though. It was before Squanches. Don't pick it. Too late. I wonder if that crow's okay. I think I'm going to take a break and check on the crow. And then hopefully we can at least get through this chapter. I don't think reading 100 pages is remotely possible. I want to finish this soon, though. I was thinking of trying to do the Tradwife stream tomorrow. And make pie. If that fancies anyone. You're putting your info, I think. The beanie looks like a condom. I think most beanies look like condoms. There's a wounded crow. I don't know if it's wounded or what. You wouldn't look out of place as another character, the movie Sucker Punch. Why do I get that so much? Gotta make sure it matches the wardrobe. I feel it. Sounds good. I do like pie. Making a cream pie. I don't know how to deal with the Tradwife stream thing, though. Because I kind of want to act like chat is like my 50s husband. If that makes sense. I'm late for looks like moments. Ship. Just be careful to take some food. Crows will protect the wounded. Yeah, no, there's crows out there. I tried to go check on them and they were like, wah! I was like, oh, jeez, okay. Badass woman movie, that's why. Chicks with guns or something. Okay, I think I'm gonna take a quick break. To be a marriage. I could probably clear off my windowsill and put the pie to chill on the windowsill, which is also really funny. I want to try and, like, roleplay, kind of. Stream starts. You say, welcome home from work, dear, and hand us a whiskey. That's exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. Keep telling her she should cosplay as Rocket from Sucker Punch. It's true. He does. Do you go out and start counting crows? No. Maybe just today, though. Go all Donna Reed. Go all Donna Reed. It's a lovely way to fall asleep. Good night, Sheriff. Thank you for a wonderful stream. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you have a lovely day. Take care, everyone, and see you tomorrow. Geffern, I hope you have a good night. I'll be back in a minute to keep reading if you're going to pass out. Or if, I don't know what you do. You probably have to shut your laptop off. Whatever. I hope you have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll make pie, hopefully. Maybe. I'll try. I'll try to make pie tomorrow. I hope you have a good night. Good luck with the dust. I'm sorry it's so dusty. It'll be hard to handle, I'm sure, because you might also talk to angels. Roleplay Frodo and we can all be your Sam. I'd love that. Pie. Thinking of berry pie. Good night, everyone. Have a great day. Good night, Geffrin. See you soon. Be safe. My arm looks so fucking ripped. What the fuck? Sorry, that distracted me. I hope you have a good night, Geffrin. My ADD is out of control, dude. I look yoked. Look at how fucking yoked I look. God damn it. Impressive. Thank you, Geffrin. You gotta be yoking me. You need to go to the bathroom, touch off for a bit, then come back. Sheesh. Get a room. What? Okay, I'm gonna... I hate Led Zeppelin. I'm just gonna say it. I fucking hate Led Zeppelin. I also found out Led Zeppelin wrote lots of songs about Lord of the Rings, which I find disturbing. Okay, I'm gonna go take a quick break and pee. Maybe get some more milkies. I'll be right back, and then we'll resume the reading. Hurts me so bad, a teenager book. I just don't know how to... I don't want to try and fix it till we're done reading it. If that makes sense. Because, like, I don't want to, like, damage it again immediately after fixing it. So I'm just going to finish it and then fix it. Is that Led Zeppelin? I thought it was an impression of a cat in heat. No, it's Led Zeppelin. It's Ramble On, if you were wondering. Can you not hear how exact it is? What's up, Strope? Ziploc bag for posterity. Just chatting. I'm taking a break, so I'll have to do that when I get back. I recognized it immediately. Thank you. Very much against censorship. Hate to see a book get damaged. I know that one is from where, but it still hurts me. I know. It's my mom's, so I definitely want to fix it. I just, I want to do it right, you know? Check me in selfies for my pink Riz. Riz. He's the Rizzler. How are you going to fix it? Rebinding it? Probably. I think I'm going to look up how to do it correctly. Okay. I'll be right back. I'm taking a break, and then we'll resume Lord of the Rings. Okay, update. I checked on the crow. He's still there. The other crows are also still there. So I decided to try to feed them. Because this might be my one shot. You know what I'm saying? This might be my one shot at getting crows to like me. So I went out there and they freaked the fuck out. One swooped on me and almost fucking hit me in the head. But I left some granola for them. Apparently they eat granola. I don't know. So I left some granola. Maybe they'll bring it to the guy that's injured or whatever the fuck's wrong with him. Because I can't go near him without them freaking out. So. Corvids don't mess around. You have a crow I want. There's 3 crows right now outside. One of them seems to be injured or nesting. I don't know what it's doing. I have no idea. It's been sitting there all day. And they're defending him, so. Crows eat almost anything. Well, I googled it and it said oats is fine. I was like, oh, and granola and things. I was like, okay, well. What's up, Moof? Time for me to go. You guys enjoy? Sheriff better beat up Gandalf. I'm not gonna beat him up. He's already dead. Colonel, I hope you have a good night. Get some sleep. I'll read again in a second if you care for it while you slumber. Okay. I hope the crow's okay. I don't know what to do. Henry Raven used to treat user to his advantage. Dude, I've always wanted to make friends with crows. This is all I've got. Just chatting? Oh, yeah. Okay. I guess I'll be right back. Oh, how do I get out of here? Oh, jeez. Oh, God, what happened? Oh, fuck. What is this? No. Could just be sleeping, no one would ever know. I don't know what's wrong with him. Something you always wanted. Why haven't you ever watched The Crow? You have a point. We need couch clone? Dude, we do need a couch clone. If someone wants to clip me on this couch, existing, we can make a couch clone fairly easily. Does someone want to try and make a clip? Fucking, a bunch of my other clones got nuked by OBS for some reason. I'm gonna hold very still. I pray someone clip that, because I don't have the ability to do so right now. And if it didn't happen, so be it. Stank Boy, what's up? Wait, what? Gonna sneak to the liquor store. What's a good sweet bubbly thing besides Mike's? Champagne. And OJ. Smirnoff Ice. You could ice yourself. I like a good White Claw. Love your boots. Thank you. They're new, thankfully. My old boots were destroyed. They're Ariats, if you care to get some for yourself. They don't make them in black for men's anymore, which is stupid. Because the men's leather looks much nicer than the women's. Okay. If you like the 90s, wine spritzers. Only pink leather for men. Couch clone gank. God bless your soul. God bless your sunken soul. Alright. Getting back into this reading shenanigan. Settle down, everyone. Try it, Strophe. That doesn't sound bad. Thank you all for the couch clones. We will figure it out. I saw Jack Daniels, his watermelon, whiskey punch, look this up. Okay. When they had eaten, the company got ready to go on. They put out the fire and hid all traces of it. Then, climbing out of the dark of the dell, they took to the road again. They had not gone far before the sun sank behind the western heights, and great shadows crept down the mountainsides. Dusk veiled their feet, and mist rose in the hollows. Away in the east, the evening light lay pale upon the dim lands of distant plain and wood. Sam and Frodo, now feeling eased and greatly refreshed, were able to go at a fair pace, and with only one brief halt, Aragorn led the company on for nearly 3 more hours. What's up, evil? It was dark. Deep night had fallen. There were many clear stars, but the fast waning moon would not be seen till late. Gimli and Frodo were at the rear, walking softly and not speaking, listening for any sound upon the road behind. At length Gimli broke the silence. "Not a sound but the wind," he said. "There are no goblins near, or my ears are made of wood. It is to be hoped that the orcs will be content with driving us from Moria. And maybe that was all their purpose, and they had nothing else to do with us, with the ring. Though orcs will often pursue foes for many leagues into the plain, if they had fallen captain to avenge. Frodo did not answer. He looked at Sting, and the blade was dull. Yet he had heard something, or thought he had. As soon as the shadows had fallen about them, the road behind was dim. He had heard again the quick patter of feet. Even now he heard it. He turned swiftly. There were 2 tiny gleams of light behind, or for a moment he thought he saw them, but at once they slipped aside and vanished. "What is it?" said the dwarf. "I don't know," answered Frodo. "I thought I heard feet, and I thought I saw a light like eyes. I have thought so often since we first entered Moria." Gimli halted and stooped to the ground. "I hear nothing but the night speech of plant and stone," he said. "Come, let us hurry. The others are out of sight." The night wind blew chill up the valley to meet them. Before them a wide grey shadow loomed, and they heard an endless rustle of leaves like poplars in the breeze. "Lothlorien!" cried Legolas. "Lothlorien! We have come to the eaves of the Golden Wood. Alas, that it is winter." Under the night, the trees stood tall before them, arched over the road and stream that ran suddenly beneath their spreading boughs. In the dim light of the stars, their stems were grey, and their quivering leaves a hint of fallow gold. "Lothlorien," said Aragorn. "Glad I am near again the wind and the trees. We are still a little more than 5 leagues from the gates, but we can go no further. Here let us hope that the virtue of the elves will keep us tonight from peril that comes behind." "If elves indeed dwell here in the darkening world," said Gimli. "It is long since any of my folk journeyed hither back to the land whence we wandered in ages long ago," said Legolas. "But we hear that Lórien is not yet deserted, for there is secret power here that bolds evil from the land. Nevertheless, its folk are seldom seen, and maybe they dwell now deep in the woods and far from the northern border." "Indeed, deep in the wood they dwell," said Aragorn. and sighed as if some memory stirred in him. "We must fend for ourselves tonight. We will go forward in a short way until the trees are all about us, and then we will turn aside from the path and seek a place to rest in." He stepped forward, but Boromir stood irresolute and did not follow. "Is there no other way?" he said. What other fairer way would you desire?" said Aragorn. "A plain road, though it led through a hedge of swords," said Boromir. "By strange paths has this company been led, and so far to evil fortune. Against my will we passed under the shades of Moria, to our loss. And now we must enter the Golden Wood, you say. But of the perilous land we have heard in Gondor, as is said, the few come out who once go in. And of that few none have escaped unscathed." "Say not unscathed, but if you say unchanged, then maybe you will speak the truth," said Aragorn. "But lore wanes in Gondor, Boromir. If in the city those who were once wise now speak evil of Lórien, believe that what you will, there is no other way for us, unless you would like to go back to Moria Gate, or scale the pathless mountains, or swim the great river all alone." "Then lead on," said Boromir, "but it is perilous." "Perilous indeed," said Aragorn. "Fair and perilous, but only evil need fear it, and those who bring some evil with them. Follow me." They had gone a little more than a mile into the forest when they came upon another stream flowing down swiftly from the tree-clad slopes that climbed back westward towards the mountains. They heard it splashing over a fall away among the shadows on their right. Its dark, hurrying waters ran across the path before them and joined the silver lode in a swirl of dim pools among the roots of trees. "Here is Nimrodel," said Legolas. "Of this stream the silver elves made many songs long ago, and still we sing them in the north, remembering the rainbow on its fall and the golden flowers that floated its foam. All is dark now at the bridge of Nimrodel. Nimrodel is broken down. I will bathe my feet, for it is said that the water is healing to the weary." He went forward and climbed down the deep cloven bank and stepped into the stream. "Follow me," he cried. "The water is not deep. Let us wade across. On the further bank we can rest, and the sound of the falling water may bring us sleep and forgetfulness of grief." One by one they climbed down and followed Legolas. For a moment Frodo stood near the brink of the water and let the water flow over his tired feet. It was cold, but its touch was clean, and as he went on and it mounted to his knees, he felt that the stain of travel and weariness was washed from his limbs. When all the company had crossed, they sat and rested and ate food. And Legolas told them tales of Lothlórien and the elves of Mirkwood still kept in their hearts, of sunlight and starlight upon the meadows by the great river before the world was grey. At length a silence fell, and they heard the music of waterfall running sweetly in the shadows. Almost Frodo fancied that he could hear a voice singing, mingled with the sound of the water. "Do you hear the voice of Nimrodel?" said Legolas. "I will sing you a song of the maiden Nimrodel, who bore the same name as the stream beside which she lived long ago. It is a fair song in our Willen tongue, but this is how it runs in Western speech, as some of Rivendell now sing it." In a soft voice, hardly to be heard amid the rustle of leaves above them, he began. An elven maid there was of old, a shining star by day. Her mantle white was hemmed with gold, her shoes of silver grey. A star was bound upon her brows, a light was on her hair, as sun upon the golden boughs in Lórien the fair. Her hair was long, her limbs were white, and fair she was and free, and in the wind she was as light as leaf of linden tree. Besides the falls in Nimrodel, by water clear and cool, her voice was falling silver fell into the shining pool. Where now she wanders, none can tell, in sunlight or in shade, for lost of yore was Nimrodel, and in the mountains strayed. The elven ship, in haven grey, beneath the mountain lee, awaited her for many a day, beside the roaring sea. A wind by night in northern lands arose, and loud it cried, and drove the ship from elven strands across the streaming tide. When dawn came dim, the land was lost, the mountains sinking grey, beyond the heaving waves that tossed their plumes of blinding spray. Amroth beheld the fading shore, now low beyond the swell, and cursed the faithless ship that bore him far from Nimrodel. Of old he was an elven king, a lord of tree and glen. when golden were the bows in spring, in fair Lórien. From helm to sea they saw him leap, as arrow from the string, and dive into the water deep, a mew upon the wing. The wind was in the flowing hair, the foam about him shone. Afar they saw him strong and fair, go riding like a swan. But from the west has come no word, and on the hither shore no tidings elven folk have heard of Amroth evermore. The voice of Legolas faltered, and the song ceased. "I cannot sing any more," he said, "but that is but a part, for I have forgotten much. It is long and sad, for it tells of how sorrow came to Lórien, Lórien of the Blossom, when the dwarves awakened evil in the mountains." "But the dwarves did not make the evil," said Gimli. "I said not so, yet evil came," answered Legolas sadly. "Then many of the elves of Nimrodel's kindred left their dwellings and departed, and she was lost far in the south, in the passes of the White Mountains, and she came not to the ship where Amroth her lover waited for her. But in the spring, when the wind is in the new leaves, the echo of her voice may still be heard by the falls that bear her name. And when the wind is in the south, the voice of Amroth comes up from the sea. For Nimrodel flows into Silverlode, that elves call Celebrant, and Celebrant into Anduin the Great, and Anduin flows into the Bay of Belfalis, whence the elves of Lórien set sail, but neither Nimrodel nor Amroth ever came back. It is told that she had a house built in the branches of a tree that grew near the falls, for that was the custom of the elves of Lórien, to dwell in the trees, and maybe it is so still. Therefore they were called Galadrim, the tree people. Deep in their forests the trees were very great. The people of the woods did not delve into the grounds like dwarves, nor build strong places of stone before the shadow came. "And even in the latter days, dwelling in the trees might be thought safer than sitting on the ground," said Gimli. He looked across the stream to the roads that led back to Dimril Dale, and then up into the roof of dark boughs above. "Your words bring good counsel, Gimli," said Aragorn. "We cannot build a house, but tonight we will do as the Galadrim and seek refuge in the treetops, if we can. We have sat here beside the road already longer than wise." The company now turned aside from the path and went into the shadow of the deeper woods, westward along the mountain stream away from Silverlode. Not far from the falls of Nimrodel they found the cluster of trees, some of which overhung the stream. Their great grey trunks were of mighty girth, but their height could not be guessed. "I will climb up," said Legolas. "I am at home among the trees, by root or bough, though these trees are kind of strange to me, save as a name in song. Melian they're called, and of those that bear the yellow blossom, but I have never climbed in one. I will see now what is their shape and way of growth." "Whatever it may be," said Pippin, "they will be marvellous trees indeed, if they can offer any rest at night, except to birds. I cannot sleep on a perch." "Then dig a hole in the ground," said Legolas, "if that is more the fashion of your kind, but you must dig swift and deep, if you wish to hide from orcs." He sprang lightly from the ground and caught a branch that grew from the trunk high above his head, but even as he swung there for a moment, a voice spoke suddenly from the tree shadows above him. "Darrow," it said in a commanding tone, but Legolas dropped back to earth in surprise and fear. He shrank against the bole of the tree. "Stand still," he whispered to the others. "Do not move or speak." There was a sound of soft laughter over their heads, then another clear voice in an elven tongue. Frodo could understand little of what was said, for the speech of the sylvan folk east of the mountains used among themselves was unlike that of the west. Legolas looked up and answered in the same language. "Who are they, and what do they say?" said Merry. "They're elves," said Sam. "Can't you hear their voices?" "Yes, they are elves," said Legolas, "and they say that you breathe so loud that they could shoot you in the dark." Sam hastily put his hand over his mouth. "But they say also that you need not have fear. They have been aware of us for a long while. They heard my voice across the Nimrodel, and knew that I was one of their northern kindred. Therefore they did not hinder our crossing, and afterwards they heard my song. Now they bid me to climb up with Frodo, for they seem to have some tidings of him and our journey. The others they ask to wait a little, and to keep watch at the foot of the tree until they have decided what is to be done." Out of the shadows a ladder was let down. It was made of rope, silver grey and glimmering in the dark, and though it looked slender, it proved strong enough to bear many men. Legolas ran lightly up, and Frodo followed slowly. Behind came Sam, trying not to breathe loudly. The branches of the Mlorn tree grew out nearly straight from the trunk, then swept upward. But near the top of the main stem divided into the crown of many bows, and among these they found that they had been built a wooden platform, or flet as such things were called in those days. The elves called it Talon. It's reached by a round hole in the center of which the ladder passed. When Frodo came at last upon the flet, he found Legolas seated with 3 other elves. They were clad in shadowy grey, and could not have been seen amongst the tree stems, unless they moved suddenly. They stood up, and one of them uncovered a small lamp that gave out a slender silver beam. He held it up, looking at Frodo's face, and Sam's. Then he shut off the light again and spoke words of welcome in his elven tongue. Frodo spoke haltingly in return. "Oh, Gank, thank you." Yes, they are in Narnia, Scandabilly. Get that guy from you to fix it? He's good at that. Wait, what? What the hell? Also, hi, what the hell? How are you doing? Didn't see your message a minute ago. "Welcome," the elf said, and then again in the common language, speaking slowly. "We seldom use any tongue but our own, for we dwell now in the heart of the forest, and do not willingly have dealings with any other folk. Even our own kindred in the north are sundered from us, but there are some of us who still go abroad for gathering of news and watching of our enemies, and they speak the languages of other lands. I am one. Haldir is my name. My brothers, Rúmil and Orpharin, speak little of your tongue. But we have heard rumors of your coming, for the messengers of Elrond passed by Lórien on their way up the Drimril stair. We had not heard of hobbits, of halflings, for many a long year, and did not know that any dwelt in Middle-earth. You do not look evil, and since you come with elf of our kindred, we are willing to befriend you, as Elrond asked, though it is not our custom to lead strangers through our land. But you must stay here tonight. How many are you?" 8, said Legolas. "Myself, 4 hobbits, 2 men, one of whom, Aragorn, is an elf friend of the folk of the Western Nisi." "The name of Aragorn, son of Arathorn, is known in Lórien," said Haldir, "and he is the favour of the lady. All then is well, but you have yet spoken of only 7. "The 8th is a dwarf," said Legolas. "A dwarf," said Haldir. "That is not well. We have not had dealings with dwarves since the dark days. They are not permitted in our land. I cannot allow him to pass." "But he is from the Lonely Mountain. One of Dane's trusty people, and friendly to Elrond," said Frodo. "Elrond himself chose him to be one of our companions, and he has been brave and faithful." The elves spoke together in soft voices and questioned Legolas in their own tongue. "Very good," said Haldir at last. "We will do this, though it is against our liking. If Aragorn and Legolas will guard him, and answer for him, he shall pass, but he must go blindfold through Lothlórien. But now we must not debate no longer. Your folk must remain on the ground. We have been keeping watch on the rivers ever since we saw a great troop of orcs through the north of Moria, along the skirts of the mountains, many days ago. Wolves are howling on the wood's borders. If you indeed come from Moria, the peril cannot be far behind. Tomorrow, early you must go." "The 4 hobbits shall climb up here and stay with us. We do not fear them. There's another Talon in the next tree. There the others must take refuge. You, Legolas, must answer to us for them. Call us if anything is amiss. You have an eye on that dwarf. And have an eye on that dwarf." Legolas at once went down the ladder to take Haldir's message, and soon afterwards Merry and Pippin clambered on the high flet. They were out of breath and seemed rather scared. "There," said Merry, panting. "We have lugged up your blankets as well as our own. Strider has hidden all the rest of our luggage in a deep drift of leaves." You have no need of your burdens," said Haldir. "It is cold in the tree-tops in winter, though the wind tonight is in the south. But we have food and drink to give you all that will drive away the night chill, and we have skins and cloaks to spare." The hobbits accepted this second and far better supper very gladly. Then they wrapped themselves warmly, not only in fur cloaks of the elves, but in their own blankets as well, and tried to go to sleep. But weary as they were, only Sam found that easy to do. Hobbits do not like heights, and do not sleep upstairs, even when they have any stairs. The Flet was not at all to their liking as a bedroom. It had no walls, not even a rail. Only one side was there a light plaited screen, which could be moved and fixed in different places according to the wind. Pippin went on talking for a while. "I hope, if I do go to sleep in this bedlock, that I shan't roll off," he said. "Once I do get to sleep," said Sam, "I shall go on sleeping whether I roll or not, and less said, the sooner I'll drop off, if you take my meaning." Frodo lay for some time awake, and looked at the stars glinting at the pale roof of quivering leaves. Sam was snoring at his side long before he himself closed his eyes. He could dimly see the grey forms of two elves sitting motionless with their arms about their knees, speaking in whispers. The other one had gone down to take up his watch with one of the lower branches. At last, lulled by the wind in the boughs above, and the sweet murmur of the falls of Nimrodel below, Frodo fell asleep with the last song of Legolas running in his mind. Drahili, thank you for following. Late in the night he awoke. The other hobbits were asleep. The elves were gone. The sickle moon was gleaming dimly among the leaves. The wind was still. A little way off he heard a harsh laugh and a tread of many feet on the ground below. There was a ring of metal. The sounds died slowly away and seemed to go southward and on into the wood. A head appeared suddenly through the hole into the Flet. Frodo sat up in alarm and saw it was grey-hooded elf. He looked towards the hobbits. "What is it?" said Frodo. "Yuck," said the elf in a hissing whisper, and cast the Flet into the rope ladder rolled up. "Orcs," said Frodo, "what are they doing?" But the elf had gone. There were no more sounds. Even the leaves were silent, and the very falls seemed to be hushed. Frodo sat and shivered in his wraps. He was thankful that they had not been caught on the ground, but he felt that the trees offered little protection, except concealment. Orcs were as keen as hounds on a scent, it was said, but they could also climb. He drew out Sting. It flashed and glittered like a blue flame, and then slowly faded again and grew dull. In spite of the fading of his sword, the feeling of immediate danger did not leave Frodo. Rather, it grew stronger. He got up and crawled to the opening and peered down. It was almost certain that he could hear stealthy movements in the trees far below. Not elves, for the woodland folk were altogether noiseless in their movement. Then he heard faintly a sound like sniffing, and something seemed to be scabbling up the bark of the tree trunk. He stared down in the dark, holding his breath. Something was now climbing slowly, and its breath came like a soft hissing through closed teeth. Then, coming up close to the stem, Frodo saw two pale eyes. They stopped and gazed upward, unwinking. Suddenly they turned away, and a shadowy figure slipped around the trunk of the tree and vanished. Immediately afterwards, Haldir came climbing up swiftly through the branches. "There is something in this tree that I have never seen before," he said. "It was not an orc. It fled as soon as I touched the tree stem. It seemed to be wary, and to have some skill in trees. I might have thought that it was one of you hobbits. I did not shoot, for I dared not arouse any cries. We cannot risk battle. A strong company of orcs has passed. They crossed the Nimrodel, cursed their sole feet in its clean water. Curse their foul feet in its clean water, and went down the old road beside the river. They seemed to pick up some scent, and they searched the ground for a while near the place where you halted. The three of us could not challenge 100, so we went ahead and spoke with feigned voices, leading them on into the wood. Orofin is now gone in the haste back to the dwellings to warn our people. None of the orcs will ever return out of Lórien, and there will be many elves hidden in the northern border before another night falls. But you must take the road south as soon as it is fully light." I know it won't happen, but reading while squatting. If you remind me, I can squat when I'm done reading. Day came from the east, and as light grew, it filtered through the yellow leaves of the Malorn, and it seemed that the hobbits that... Sorry, my cat's freaking out. And it seemed to the hobbits that the early sun of a cool summer's morning was shining. Pale blue sky peeped among the moving branches, looking through an opening of the south side of the Flet that Frodo saw the valley of the Silverlode lying like a sea of fallow gold tossing gently in the breeze. The morning was still young and cold when the company set out again, guided now by Haldir and his brother Rúmil. "Farewell, sweet Nimrodel," cried Legolas. Frodo looked back and caught a gleam of white foam among the great grey tree stems. "Farewell," he said. It seemed to him that he would never hear again a running water so beautiful, for the blending of innumerable notes in an endless, changeful music. They went back to the path, and they still went on along the west side of the Silverlode, and for some way they followed it southward. There were the prints of orc feet in the earth, but soon Haldir turned aside into the trees and halted at the bank of the river under their shadows. "There's one of my people yonder across the stream," he said, "though you may not see him." He gave a call like a low whistle of a bird, and out of a thicket of young trees an elf stepped, clad in grey, but with his hood thrown back. His hair glinted like gold in the morning sun. Haldir skillfully cast over the stream a coil of grey rope, and he caught it and bound the end of the tree near the bank. "Celebrant is already a strong stream here, as you see," said Haldir, "and it runs both swift and deep, and is very cold. We do not set foot in it so far north unless we must, but in these days of watchfulness we do not make bridges. This is how we cross. Follow me." He made his end of the rope fast about another tree, and then ran lightly along it, over the river and back again, as if he were on a road. "I can walk this path," said Legolas, "but the others have not this skill. Must they swim?" "No," said Haldir. "We have 2 more ropes. We will fasten them above the other, one shoulder high and the other half high, and holding these strangers should be able to cross with care." When the slender bridge had been made, the company passed over, some cautiously and slowly, others more easily. Of the hobbits, Pippin proved to be the best, as he was sure-footed, and he walked over quickly, holding only with one hand. But he kept his eyes on the bank ahead, and did not look down. Sam shuffled along, clutching hard and looking down into the pale eddying water, as if it was a chasm in the mountains. Water high. He breathed with release when he was safely across. "Live and learn," as my gaffer used to say, though he was thinking of gardening, not of roosting like a bird, nor of trying to walk like a spider. Not even my uncle, Andy, ever did a trick like that. When at length all the company gathered at the east bank of the Silverlode, the elves untied the ropes and coiled 2 of them. Rúmil, who had remained on the other side, drew back the last one, slung it on his shoulder, and with a wave of his hand went away, back to Nimrodel to keep watch. "Now, friends," said Haldir, you have entered the Nath of Lórien, or the Gore, as you would say, for it is the land that lies like a spearhead between the arms of Silverlode and Anduin the Great. We allow no strangers to spy out the secrets of the Nath. Few indeed are permitted even to set foot there. As was agreed, I shall here blindfold the eyes of Gimli the dwarf. The others may walk free for a while until we come near our dwellings, down in Egladil, and in the angle between the waters. This was not at all to the liking of Gimli. "The agreement was made without my consent," he said. "I will not walk blindfold like a beggar or a prisoner, and I am no spy. My folk have never had dealings with any of the servants of the enemy. Neither have we done harm to the elves. I am more likely to betray you than Legolas. I am no more likely to betray you than Legolas, or any other of my companions." "I do not doubt you," said Haldir. "Yet this is our law. I am not the master of the law, and cannot set it aside. I have done much in letting you set foot over Celebrant." Gimli was obstinate. He planted his feet firmly apart and laid his hands upon on the haft of his axe. "I will go forward free," he said, "or I will go back and seek my own land, where I am known to be true of word, though I perish alone in the wilderness." "You cannot go back," said Haldir sternly. "Now you have come thus far, you must be brought before the Lord and the Lady. They shall judge you, to hold you or give you leave, as they will. You cannot cross the rivers again, and behind you there's now secret sentinels that you cannot pass. You would be slain before you saw them." Gimli drew his axe from his belt. Haldir and his companions bent their bows. A plague on the dwarves and their stiff necks," said Legolas. "Come," said Aragorn, "I am still to lead this company. You must do as I bid. It is hard upon the dwarf to thus be singled out. We will all be blindfolded, even Legolas. That will be best, though it will make the journey slow and dull. Gimli laughed suddenly. A merry troop of fools we shall look. Haldir led us all on a string, like many blind beggars with one dog, but I will be content if only Legolas shares my blindness. I am an elf and a kinsman here, said Legolas, becoming angry in his turn. Now let us cry, a plague on the stiff necks of elves, said Aragorn. But the company shall all fare alike. Come, bind your eyes, Haldir. I shall claim full amends for every fall and stubbed toe if you do not lead us well, said Gimli, as they bound a cloth about his eyes. You will have no claim, said Haldir. I shall lead you well, and the paths are smooth and straight. Alas, for the folly of these days, said Legolas. They are enemies of the one enemy, and yet I must walk blind, while the sun is merry in the woodland under the leaves of gold. Folly it may seem, said Haldir. Indeed, nothing is the power of the Dark Lord more clearly shown than the estrangement that divides all those who oppose him. Yet so little faith and trust do we now find in the world beyond Lothlórien, unless maybe in Rivendell, and we dare not by our own trust endanger our land. We live now upon an island amid many perils, and our hands are more often upon the bowstrings than upon the harp. That's deep, bro. The rivers have long defended us, but they are sure guard no more, for the shadow has crept northward all about us. Some speak of departing, yet for it already seems too late. The mountains to the west are growing evil. To the east the lands are waste, and full of Sauron's creatures. It is rumored that we cannot now safely pass southward through Rohan, and the mouths of the great river are watched by the enemy. Even if we should come to the shores of the sea, we should find no longer any shelter there. It is said that there are still havens of the high elves, but they are far north and west, beyond the land of the halflings. But where that may be, though the Lord and Lady may know it, I do not. You ought to at least guess, since you have seen us, said Merry. There are elf havens west of my land, the Shire, where hobbits live. Happy folk are hobbits to dwell near the shores of the sea, said Haldir. It is long indeed since any of my folk have looked on it, yet still remember it in song. Tell me of these havens as we walk. I cannot, said Merry. I have never seen them, and I have never been out of my own land before, and if I had known what the world outside was like, I don't think I should have had the heart to leave it. Not even to see fair Lothlórien, said Haldir. Jack, thank you for following. Not even to see fair Lothlórien, said Haldir. The world is indeed full of peril, and in it there are so many dark places, but still there is much that is fair, and though in all lands love is now mingled with grief, it grows perhaps the greater. You took a lift to get your meds and it's a holiday, dude? That sucks. This has been one of the more chill birthdays I've had in a lot. It's your birthday? D, it's your birthday? Oh my god. Is it your birthday? Yeah? Happy birthday! Oh, you guys, it's Dee's birthday today. I don't have a clap track right now or any sound effects, so I can't do anything crazy. It's Dee's birthday. Wish him a happy birthday. That's so sweet. Oh my god. Cute. Well, thanks for spending your birthday with us. Thanks, y'all. So cute. What's up, Needless? That's so wholesome and adorable. I'm gonna throw up. Oh my god. We've got a couple more pages. Happy day, roll to the D. Happy day. May this reading be dedicated to you, D. On your day of birth. Womb Exodus. Some there are among us who sing that the shadow will draw back, and peace shall come again. Yet I do not believe that the world about us will ever be as it was of old, or the light of the sun as it was aforetime. For the elves, I fear, it will prove at best a truth, in which they may pass to the sea unhindered and leave Middle-earth forever. Alas for Lórien that I love, it would be a poor life in a land where no Malorn grew. But if there are Malorn trees beyond the great sea, none have reported it. As they spoke thus, the company filed slowly along the paths of the wood, led by Haldir, while the other elf walked behind. They felt the ground beneath their feet smooth and soft, and after a while they walked more freely, without fear of hurt or fall. Being deprived of sight, Frodo found his hearing and other senses sharpened. He could smell the trees and the trodden grass. He could hear many different notes of the rustle of leaves overhead, the river murmuring away on his right, and the thin, clear voices of birds in the sky. He felt the sun upon his face and hands when they passed through an open glade. As soon as he set foot upon the far bank of the Silverlode, a strange feeling had come upon him, and it deepened as he walked into the Nath. It seemed to him that he had stepped over a bridge of some time into a corner of elder days, and was now walking in the world that was no more. In Rivendell there was a memory of ancient things. In Lórien the ancient things still lived on in the waking world. Evil had been seen and heard there. Sorrow had been known. The elves feared and distrusted the world outside. Wolves were howling on the wood's borders, but the land of Lórien no shadow lay. All that day the company marched on until they felt the cool evening come and heard the early night wind whispering among many leaves. Then they rested and slept without fear upon the ground, for their guides would not permit them to unbind their eyes, and they could not climb. In the morning they went on again, walking without haste. At noon they halted, and Frodo was aware that they had passed out under the shining sun. Suddenly he had heard the sound of many voices all around him. A marching host of elves had come up silently. They were hastening towards the northern borders of the guard against any attack from Moria, and they brought news, some of which Haldir reported. The marauding orcs had been waylaid and had almost all destroyed. The remnant had flew westward towards the mountains, and were being pursued. A strange creature also had been seen, running with the bent back, and with hands near the ground, like a beast, yet not of beast shape. It had eluded capture, and they had not shot it, not knowing whether it was good or ill, and it had vanished down the Silverlode southward. Also, said Haldir, they bring me a message from the Lord and Lady of Galadrim. You are all to walk free, even the dwarf Gimli. Seems the lady knows who and what is each member of your company. New messages have come from Rivendell, perhaps. He removed the bandage from Gimli's eyes. Your pardon, he said, bowing low. Look on us now with friendly eyes. Look and be glad, for you are the first dwarf to behold the trees and Nath of Lórien since Durin's day. When his eyes were in turn uncovered, Frodo looked up and caught his breath. They were standing in an open space. To the left stood a great mound, covered with sward of grass as green as springtime in the elder days. Upon it, as a double crown, grew 2 circles of trees. The outer had bark of snowy white, and were leafless, but beautiful in their shapely nakedness. The inner were Malorn trees, of great height, still arrayed in pale gold. High amid the branches of a towering tree that stood in the center of all, there gleamed a white Flet, and the Flet at the feet of the trees, and all about the green hillsides and grass, studded with small golden flowers shaped like stars. Among them, nodding on slender stalks, were other flowers, white and palest green. They glimmered as a mist amid the rich hue of the grass. All of the sky was blue, and the sun of afternoon glowed upon the hill and cast long green shadows beneath the trees. Behold, you are come to Cerin Amroth, said Haldir, for this is the heart of the ancient realm as it was long ago, and here is the mound of Amroth, where in happier days his high house was built. Here ever bloom in winter flowers and the unfading grass, the yellow Elenor and the pale Nephrodil. Here we will stay a while and come to the city of Galadrim at dusk. The others cast themselves down upon the fragrant grass, but Frodo stood a while, still lost in wonder. It seemed to him that he had stepped through a high window that looked on a vanished world. A light was upon it for which his language had no name, and what he saw was shapely, but the shapes seemed at once clear-cut, as if they had been first conceived and drawn at the uncovering of his eyes, and ancient as if they had endured forever. He had no color but those he knew, gold and white and blue and green, but they were fresh and poignant, as if he had a moment first perceived them and made for them names new and wonderful. In winter there was no heart could mourn for summer or for spring. No blemish or sickness or deformity could be seen in anything that grew upon the earth. On the land of Lórien there was no stain. He turned and saw that Sam was now standing beside him, looking round with puzzled expression, and rubbing his eyes as if he was not sure that he was awake. "It's sunlight and bright day, right enough," he said. "I thought that elves were all for moon and stars, but this is more elvish than anything I've ever heard tell of. I feel as if I was inside a song, if you take my meaning." Haldir looked at them, and seemed indeed to take the meaning of both thought and word. He smiled. "You feel the power of the Lady of the Galadrim," he said. "Would it please you to climb with me up to the Cerin Amroth?" They followed him as he stepped lightly up the grass-clad slopes, though he walked and breathed, and about him living leaves and flowers were stirred by the same cool wind as fanned his face. Frodo felt that he was in timeless land that did not fade or change or fall into forgetfulness. When he had gone and passed again into the outer world, still Frodo the Wanderer from the Shire would walk there, upon the grass among Elenor and Nephrydil, in fair Lothlórien. They entered the circle of white trees. As they did so, the south wind blew upon Cerin Amroth and sighed among the branches. Frodo stood still, hearing far off great seas upon beaches that had long ago been washed, and seabirds crying whose race had perished from the earth. Haldir had gone on and was now climbing on to the high Flet. As Frodo prepared to follow him, he laid his hand upon the tree beside the ladder. Never before had he been so suddenly and so keenly aware of the feel and texture of a tree's skin and of the life within it. He felt that the light and wood and the touch of it, neither as forester nor carpenter, was a delight of the living tree itself. As he stepped out at last upon the lofty platform, Haldir took his hand and turned him towards the south. "Look this way first," he said. Frodo looked and saw, still at some distance, a hill of many mighty trees, or a city of green towers. Which it was he could not tell. Out of it seemed to him that the power and light that held all the land in sway. He longed suddenly to fly like a bird to the rest of the green city. Then he looked eastward and saw all the lands of Lórien running down the pale gleam of Anduin, the great river. He lifted his eyes across the river, and all the light went out, and he was back again in the world he knew. Beyond the rivers, the land appeared flat and empty, formless and vague, until far away it rose again like a wall, dark and drear. The sun that lay on Lothlórien had no power to enlighten the shadow of that distant height. "There lies the fastness southern Mirkwood," said Haldir. "It is clad in the forest of dark fir, where the trees strive one against another, and their branches rot and wither. In the midst upon a stony height stands Dol Guldur, where long the hidden enemy had his dwelling. We fear that now it is inhabited again, and with the power sevenfold. A black cloud often lies over it of late. In this high place you may see the two powers that are opposed one another, and ever they strive now in thought. But whereas the light perceives the very heart of the darkness, its own secret has not been discovered. Not yet." He turned and climbed swiftly down, and they followed him. At the hill's foot Frodo found Aragorn, standing still and silent as a tree, but his hand was a small golden bloom of Elenor, and a light was in his eyes. He was wrapped in some fair memory, and as Frodo looked at him, he knew that he beheld things as they once had been in this same place. For the grim years were removed from the face of Aragorn, and he seemed clothed in white, a young lord, tall and fair, and he spoke words in an elvish tongue to one whom Frodo could not see. "Arwen Venmelda, Namari," he said, and he drew a breath, and returning out of his thought, he looked at Frodo and smiled. Here is the heart of elfendom on earth, he said, and here my heart dwells ever, unless there be a light beyond the dark roads that we must tread, you and I. Come with me. Taking Frodo's hand in his, he left the hill of Cerin Amroth, and came there never again as living man. The next chapter will be the Mirror of Galadriel.
Dip your balls
We got 50
in it.
pages left.
I would like to wish a very happy birthday to Roll of the D. May you have a very happy and healthy year to come. The cash is for the sheriff. This is a gift. For the sheriff. Did I say that already?
You can't give someone else a gift on someone else's birthday. Vulcaneer, thank you for following. Dag, thank you so much. Happy birthday to D. The money's for Sheriff. I don't read rules. Dag, thank you so much for the $30. You're so sweet. I don't know what else to say. Fall, hi, it's good to see you. I'm doing okay, how are you? My voice is like almost gone from reading constantly. I think the dumb blonde voice did not help. Only 50 pages is not a lot, you guys. We could probably knock that out on Thursday. If you so choose. It is almost 5. I'm going out to dinner tonight with friends. For a birthday. Oh, you have the same birthday as one of my friends. I just realized that. Do it now. I have to walk so far. Oh, never mind. When do we get to redeem Death Metal Christian Bale Batman voice? I don't know if I can do that. I'm gonna have to learn how to do it. If you... Oh, I just stuck my finger in a bunch of jelly. If you guys, teach me how to do accents, I'll do them on stream, but I don't know how to do them. Must be nice to have friends, Vulcaneer. Oh my god. Lots of ups and downs. Operation Radical Acceptance. What? What does that mean? How long is this chapter? It's like 6 pages. Do you guys want to read The Mirror of Galadriel, or should we wait? Fellowship ends in such an interesting spot. But, like, the book. Is he secretly the friend? No, but... he is also a friend. Very nice birth hypers. Birth hypers. Birth hypers. Have a great evening, guys. Fidel, you too. D is Sheriff's friends. All of them. Confirmed. Jelly fingers. Yeah. Learn how to do the growl voice properly or you can really hurt your voice. Yeah. Should wait. Yeah, my voice is kind of like going out. I'm about to get some ice cream. Fuck yeah, dude. Wait, probably. Practice that involves accepting emotions, thoughts, and circumstances that are unchangeable and out of your control. That's tough. The only way I've ever been able to do that is by saying, yeah, whatever, I'm over it, to myself over and over again. Well, guys, I think we've had quite the day today. Is most of my body legs? I'm just now realizing. Gemini season, at least she has 2 friends. I like to be this quality reading for so many hours. I don't even know how long I actually was reading for, because we stopped to talk a lot. A solid mantra. Well, you sure did read the fuck out of that book to me. I did read the fuck out of that book. We're almost done with it. I think if we read one more time, we could get through to the end. I thought it was fun. I thought it was a fun time. I enjoyed it. Did we all enjoy? I don't mind the thighs with all you guys. He could be a friend and you not know it. I used to go to Salem a lot and I knew a guy from a game store for like a year, but then people made a website for a classroom and he put his pic and I knew him already secretly online for about 2 years. That's fucking crazy, dude. I don't mind the thighs with all you guys. Thank you, Mama Sheriff. Gets off your lap. You're so adorable when you read. Oh, why, thank you, son. I had splendidly cozy Monday. I'm glad. I'm glad everyone had a cozy Monday. I'm gonna go to dinner in a little bit here. I really want to finish this drawing, but I need to set up for pie. If we're gonna do pie tomorrow, spread the word, okay? We're gonna try and do a pie stream tomorrow. Tradwife pie stream, and maybe we'll make tradwifing a regular occurrence. I don't know, but if you would like to be waited on with pie, be sure to show up tomorrow. Legs are so long; they go all the way to the ground. They do. Duck please, duck please, duck please. Thanks for streaming. Take care. Rest well, everyone. Have a great week. Remember to take time to breathe. Everybody please take time to breathe. I didn't do that very well last week, and I regret it wholly. So, someone say pie. I'm going to make pie tomorrow. I'm going to try to make pie tomorrow. We'll see. I need to make sure I have all my ingredients. I have to pee. Spread the word like you'd spread some pie, y'all. Spread the word like you'd spread some thigh, y'all. What's up? What gang said? I'm gasping. What kind? Gooseberry? Triple berry. Sorry. It's probably very loud. Triple berry? Yeah, it's gonna have 3 berries. Zom, what the fuck barbecue? Zomg? I haven't heard Zomg in like 100 years, bro. Okay, so... God, my couch is pretty comfortable. I scored. It's gonna feel great to watch you bake a pie while I'm still working. Exactly. It's like future tradwife stuff. Like, you can check in on your wife baking the pie, so you know that she's fucking getting to work while you're off working and isn't just day drinking. More couch streams. I do enjoy the couch streams. They're very cozy. I want to try and like move into the living room once a month, I think. Because it's kind of a pain in the ass to move everything in here. Because I have to like set up a bunch of stuff. I'm going to try and make it into more of a kit situation. Like put everything that I need into a suitcase. So I can just like pull it out and pop everything up more quickly. But yeah, it's kind of hard to set things up in here. It always takes me extra time, and then I'm late, and then everyone's mad, and then I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. But we'll do a kitchen stream tomorrow, and I know you guys love the kitchen streams. We'll be hitting the Tradwife jam, which is probably a bad idea, because I'm probably going to get shit all over my dress, but whatever. And then maybe Thursday we'll do another reading stream, and then we'll move back into the room. And start doing walking stream, because my studio's clean. I don't have a raid guide. No, if anyone has a raid guide, hit me with that shit. Glad to see you today. Thank you for story time. Glad to see you, Water. It's nice to see you. I didn't see you for like a while there, and I got worried about you. The Valley voice tired her out. It really did. My voice is like all cracky now. Alexa, turn on waifu Wi-Fi. Alexa, turn on Ramble On by Led Zeppelin. Like Dirty Bomb, nice. Dear FBI, that was a joke. One of the best things I've seen in like weeks was like someone responding to one of those scammer people. Like a scammer person texted them, And they just responded with, listen, if you don't get the fuck out of my DMs, I'm going to start saying some buzzwords that are going to put us both on an FBI watch list. I was like, that's really good. And the guy apologized. Raid Shadow Legends. It reminds me I didn't see Fuji today either. We're reading Lord of the Rings, didn't even see Fuji. Crazy. Hope he's doing okay too. I worry about you guys all the time. Does that make me weird? I feel like it makes me weird. Thursday you can read the tax code. It's authentic, and if you get blood on it, it's Fallout cosplay. It's the only shame is that it's like a light yellow dress. So, like, and I'm baking a berry pie. It's just, ugh. Thursday you can read tax code. I didn't get the whole P.O. box. Can you resend it, please? Fuck. I'll get it. I got this. I gotta make a list for the people. Raid PewDiePie. Siri, call mom. Fuck you, Sheriff. My Alexa started talking. I'm so sorry. Alexa, Google lemon party. Work has me lurking. That's understandable. Needed time to sort my mind out. Are you doing okay, bud? Are you alright there? Worry about you, but I can't do shit to help you, and it makes me sad. Arthur. You guys do know that you do help me, right? You do know that, right? Like, there have been so many times where I've come to stream in shambles, and you guys just talk me through stuff. Or even voice chat. And, like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not even my real life friends can do that sometimes, you know? Like, so it really means a lot to me. Fuji was on Raid Shadow Legends 6 hours. Okay, so he's alive. People be barbecuing today. Fuji strikes me as a grill master. That's true. He might be grilling. Living Love Yous. Led Zeppelin started playing because I don't have a subscription. Fuck you. Jesus. I'm on the fence about you dreaming about me occasionally. It's cute and weird at the same time, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I don't know that. Lemon Party denied. When I was at home, I was streaming from my TV. You would have fucked me so bad. That's true, yeah. To live to make friends laugh, so it's honestly my pleasure, my dear. You guys are sweet. It's also time you come to stream, and I've left in shambles because of chat. That's also true, but there must be balance to the world. No? Doing alright. Took time to recover, been dealing with some stuff. Ended up treating myself kindly this weekend. Good! You should! Take the time you need for yourself, man. Fuck everybody else. And yeah, like, eat good food. Take a bath. Take time to yourself. Look who's talking. I'm like the person who can't do that. But, like, don't be me. You know? Treat yourself nicely. Because if you don't, it is not a threat. That is a love slap. There's a difference. Would you at least stop, Alexa Sheriff? No. Fine, I'll redeem a guide with my banked points. Okay. Acceptable. As a Libra, the greatest of all signs, I live by the balance. You know, my inadvertent walk today hasn't been bad. The book reading kind of made it great. Good! I need to walk, too. I actually did treat myself to some stuff from Bath and Body Works. Did you get some fucking salt, dude? Did you soak? Shiv will dom us all into self-care. That's my dream, dude. Like, anytime I've been in that kind of scenario, that's, like, you know, I'll be mean sometimes, but, like, most of it's just, like, caring doming, where it's like, do these nice things for yourself. I demand it. It's probably really confusing for them, actually, now that I think about it. Sister of Mondays. It's Monday, I forgot. I have to pee again. Why do I have to pee so much today? Do I have diabetes? Treat yourself badly. Mention it in chat. Sheriff shows up at your door during a rainstorm wielding her tactical 2x4 to whoop your ass. Did unwanted exercise. I need water or ice cream. You need water,
Suck on
first
my
and foremost.
cock.
Bleach!
Punch-O Balls is a movie created by Pepsi Pepper in 2027 and distributed by 69th Century Flop. The movie starts with a cold Floppa listening to Punch-O Balls.
Oh my god.
He looks outside and sees chaos. He is afraid his balls will be punched. He then finds George Flopper, a local Floppa. They accidentally trip, and the cold Floppa finds one of the legendary ball punchers. They need 3 of the ball punchers to bring back peace to the world. They then go to the castle of the UN for being.
What?
This is cancer. Like, this is not fun at all.
That was so perfectly timed. You guys are on point with that. It's insane. Bleach, thank you so much. What was it that fucked me up? 69th Century Flop. That destroyed me. Those garter belts would look ridiculous on me. No, it wouldn't. You'd look great. Unsubscribe, gift a sub, unfollow, unalexa, laugh at the way my life goes. Thank you, Sheriff, for your patience, interaction, funny nature, and good wise talks. I almost just screamed, Alexa, wipe hard drive, like really loudly for some reason, and I don't know why. Oh wait, I just said it. Wait, oh my god, okay. Hopefully Alexa's dumb. Alexa, order anal beads off Amazon. Overnight shipping. Had an orange popsicle and will now have a second cherry one. Yes. Cherry blossom soap and lotion. Got a gift exchange once. It's just something that works for acne and whatnot. Oh, that's nice. Caring Doming, SheriffBananas, copyright 2024. I think that's my, like, vibe, dude. It's like, I'll be really mean and make you do really awful things, but I'm also gonna tell you to make sure you eat 3 times today. And take a bath. What's up, girl? What's up? 6, how you doing? Now be a good boy and exfoliate in the shower, hydrate, schedule a doctor's appointment, and eat this healthy meal. Make daddy proud. The skincare routine is straight up one of the, like, top things. Like, that's not even a joke. That's like, you don't have a skincare routine? No, you do. And then one day, 20 years deep, they'll look back and be like, thank God for Sheriff, like, forcing me into taking care of my skin. I look so young. Yeah. Alexa, order anal beads. Stream ends abruptly. Some Alexa can buy stuff. Intrusive Thoughts wins. If you're doming self-care, have you been watching Spit and Switch's Instagram stuff? I have seen it. It pops up because of other people in this community's Instagrams. I won't oust you. It pops up in my feed sometimes. It's not quite the vibe that I go for. Change your name to Naomi Judd. Gentle Dom. Be a good boy and wash your ass and balls. Exactly. Alexa, launch all United States nuclear weapons and play Bruno Mars Grenade. That's so funny. Why Bruno Mars Grenade? That makes it so much funnier. Oh my god. I like the lighting. It's very moody. We have moody lighting. Dance party. Okay, I should probably go. I really have to pee. So I'm going to start a raid. Just write a punk song telling people to wash their ass and balls. Someone, like, made a comment on, like, one of my YouTube shorts and was like, is your band okay with you using their lyrics? And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was, like, really confused by it. I still don't understand what that meant. I want to catch a weapon with a baseball glove on my hand. That'd be cool. Night Sheriff and fellow trad polygamist house husbands.
Let me smash.
That's what you all are. Purple. I don't care. Thank you for following. Trad polygamous house husbands. D, I hope you have a good birthday. Happy birthday. Thank you for coming today. Fine, but I'm saddened by what is happening in the world. A terrible silence while the children of Palestine are killed in cold blood there. Yeah, it's kind of fucking awful. There's a lot of war-torn shit going on at the moment, and I am not pleased. It's really depressing. Need that one lamplight over your head in the dark. The sun lamp? Bye, bye, Squanch. Alexa, read me the entirety of Don Quixote in the original Spanish. Have a great night. Be safe. And pie tomorrow is something to look forward to. Tomorrow's gonna be fun. You guys have no idea, okay? It was a weird comment. I seen that. Yeah, what the fuck is that about? I still don't know what they mean, and I'm like, do I respond to this? Like, banana. What's up, purple? Original Spanish. Praise potassium. I love. I'm thinking of potassium hearts. I'm gonna start the raid. If I can figure it out. Portuguese, not Spanish. Is Don Quixote in Portuguese? Interesting. I don't know what's wrong with me right now. I feel crazy.
Shut the macaque!
Have a fine evening, Sheriff. You know, one time my ex-wife suddenly grabbed me and spun me around and said, "Have you even been listening to me at all?" And I thought, what a strange way to begin a conversation. Spy 5.
Dude, what the fuck? Arthur, thank you so much for the 100 bits. I don't know what that fucking means, but it's really funny. I have no idea what that means. I want to spin a guy around. That sounds like fun. No, I'm Portuguese. I misunderstood you. Oh, you're good. Whoa! Bleach. Bleach, thank you. Miss you, bud. I hope you're doing okay. We're gonna raid Sister on Mondays. I'm gonna get that raid started for you guys. I love you all very, very much. Oh my god, I can't type. I just realized. Be sure to follow the socials. That didn't work. Well,
My
great.
slimes!
43 and having a midlife crisis. EP.
Be sure to follow the socials. Why is this not working? 43 and having midlife crisis. EP. Spencer, thank you for 43 months. I hope you're okay. I have socials. Follow the socials. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't already. We are trying to get to 1,000 followers on there. If you want to follow the Instagram or anything else, feel free to. I haven't been active on my other sites for a while, but I'm hoping I will be again here soon. I'm sorry. Also, if you want recipes and other dumb stuff, you can check out Patreon. I don't post there very often, so just know that you're signing up for very little. It's just extra support. Don't forget to join the Discord. Don't forget to join the Discord. We have voice chats there pretty regularly now. And everyone's welcome to join voice chat. And it's really fun. And get to know everybody. And make closer friends with the community. It's great. And if you're on YouTube, thank you for watching on YouTube. And if you want to check out the VODs. Oh, bye. Praise potassium. Stay ripe. Don't let bedbugs bite. Sowie. Bye, guys. Looks like my timer ran out, but it didn't tell me. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for coming today.